and Rosenberg on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
301 of the big city, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. A full frontal show till 7 o'clock. No Peter. He might be still on the plane to Perth, for all I know. That's a long way. He's on the other side of the planet. So Alan and I are going to hold down the fort on what is a huge, huge day for the New York Yankees. Yesterday, it was about, all right, how you feeling after that ugly weekend, giving up 23 runs? What did they get outscored? 23-9 in 2 games. And let's face it, 5 of the 7 runs they scored on Sunday were garbage time after the game was already decided. But now you're coming home, and how you feeling? Place should be electric. And when you look at the task at hand, which seems impossible, seems daunting, if you look at it just a step at a time, you've got the pitching matchup tonight. Rodon was good against Boston. He's been phenomenal all year. I'm not saying you trust him at the level that you trust the Cole or that you trusted Andy Pettit back in the day, but he's a really, really good pitcher. And you're going against Shane Bieber, who's making his 8th start since coming back from Tommy John. And he's been okay, and he's a veteran.
But he's only been in 2 playoff games.
But yeah,
he's not like a grizzled playoff
No,
veteran.
there's a reason why that they had him pitch on the road, because they didn't want the kids Sunday pitching, for the first time at Yankee Stadium in that kind of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So you got the pitching matchup here. They're probably throwing an opener, the Blue Jays, tomorrow, right? And Cam's going to pitch for you, and he saved your season just not even a week ago.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't even think about Thursday or Wednesday or potentially Friday. Let's get a win. Survive in advance. And all the Blue Jays did, I know they bludgeoned you. I know they embarrassed you. But all they technically did, Alan, was hold serve. They won their 2 games in Toronto. You had to win 1 game in Toronto. You knew that. And it's going to be tough because you've lost, 8 of 9 this year in Toronto. But now the next 2 games are at the friendly confines of Yankee Stadium. And if you think of just surviving till tomorrow, it doesn't feel like it should be that hard to do.
It shouldn't. And again, yesterday was simply about get it off your chest, get it out. And that's what we were trying to do yesterday. There were a lot of crazy takes and a lot of crazy things being said, but that's what you do. You got to get the emotion out of you. You were frustrated. You have every right to be frustrated after a lost weekend in Toronto. And, look, they're facing something that is very difficult to do, climb back. But as you said, you're in the Bronx now. It's a different location. And now today's not the day to be mad about the past. Today's the day to look forward to tonight and seeing what Carlos Rodon can give you, and also seeing what, I don't know, the lineup is not out yet, right? But Aaron Boone's going to do that lineup. Is Trent Grisham going to stay as your leadoff guy? Because he has not been good. 1 for 8 in the series, 3 for 20 so far in the playoffs. He has struggled. Does he make a change there to get somebody that can get some action ahead of Aaron Judge and really start the thing off the right way? Or does he give him one more look because he's had such a good season? Do you just stick with your guys here? So I'm curious to see what he does there with the lineup. And you also want to see Carlos Rodon, who has faced the Blue Jays twice. The last time they saw him and he saw them was in late July. So it's been a while. That didn't go well. The Yankees lost that game. And he didn't have great control. He had 5 walks. He gave up only 2 earned runs. So it was also that time when the Yankees were playing very sloppily. But he's got to dig deep. He's got to give you what Fried couldn't give you, which is a stopper, which is a ace kind of performance tonight. How much faith do we have in Carlos Rodon to get it done tonight for the Yankees to extend this series another day?
And, who's it, Rice or Goldschmidt? There's a lot of decisions. In the last check, we have not seen the lineup. The game's not until 8 o'clock, so we'll probably get it sometime, I think, within this hour. Stan's early in the 4 o'clock hour.
Stan's another one, 3 for 20. Another guy, it's 5 strikeouts. Yeah. He's got to, you got to get something out of everybody. This is truly the season's on the line once again, just like it was last week in Game 2. You just have to make sure that everybody's locked in. And all the things we've said about the Yankees, the one thing you can say on a positive about this team is that they very much have been, they've been very professional about things. You never see them get emotional. You never see them freak out. You never see them get rattled. when their best is needed, a lot of times you see their best. That's how you get to 94 wins. So that's what you want to see tonight. You want to see them at least put up a fight to keep this series alive. Because, Don, they've only been swept one time in a best of 5. You remember when?
Swept.
I do. I'll never forget it.
You'll never forget it.
Yeah,
Swept
but now
in best of 5. Because the last time they were swept by the Astros,
well, yeah,
that
but
was the
that's
best of 7.
Yeah. No.
And they came back in 2017 against the then Indians, being down 2-0, and so they've done it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they've done it twice, coming back.
Yeah. But in this one, they didn't.
Swept.
Yep.
Well, they were swept in 80, right?
Yep.
By the Royals.
Correct. Pissed me off.
Hey, listen, I was.
Those were the days where I was scoring games. I was 9 years old, just sitting there with a book.
I remember that.
And
Dick Hauser.
yeah, I did not. I hated that team, that Royal team.
Well, there's a lot, right? George Brett.
Got them back the next year, though, baby.
They did.
But
well, listen. They owed you one after the Chambliss home run in '76.
Yeah. I mean,
it just seemed like
that was the best.
Yankees Royals were always like a fait accompli in the postseason.
Yes,
Yankees will win it in 1980.
But that's
well, they won like 102 games that year too. The Yankees were good in '80.
Yeah,
and then they were swept. So it's been a long time, 45 years.
Yeah, but they're very good at home. Third best record in American League at home. They're a 50-win team in their own building. So weather should be unbelievable tonight. So it's all set up for them to just get that bounce back they need, get their mojo back, and just get themselves going. Bieber's a righty. It's not like he's beatable. He was a Cy Young winner a long time ago, but he's beatable. So that's all you got to do.
He's 4-2 in the game since coming back from Tommy John.
And you got that silly AI machine that'll help you see the pitcher in the back. So, if anybody doesn't know what Bieber looks like, you can take some swings off that. They didn't have that in Toronto. Apparently, that was a big deal.
But Rodon, this is the guy that wanted to keep the ball.
Yes.
Right?
Sent him back. He sent Boone back.
He sent Boone back.
Yep.
Something that Fried should have done the day before and didn't. And facing elimination, he wanted the ball. It wasn't great, wasn't amazing, but it was enough.
But it was what you needed, right?
And you should have. There shouldn't be an empty seat. I take that back. Everybody's going to be standing, but every seat's going to be accounted for,
right?
And the Yankees offense should wake up at home and take care of business. I mean, this is what it's about. I mean, everybody's complained about where the Yankees are, but this is where you've got to step it up. You're still alive. You're not dead yet. You're home. The building's going to be apoplectic. You're going up against a pitcher that's, with an earned run average over 3.5 since coming back from Tommy John. This is where you've got to get well. And it doesn't matter because they don't judge it at the end. They don't tally. There's no, what do they call it in soccer? Aggregate scoring. Where you're down 23-9, so the Yankees have to score and win by a certain amount of runs to stay alive. No, win the game 1-0. It's 2-1 with a chance to even the series tomorrow. All right, so it looks tough. It is tough. I'm not going to sell you a bill of goods. This is going to be a really difficult thing to do. But in the moment, all you're asking the Yankees to be is themselves. As you said, third best record in the American League at home. An offense that's due. A pitcher that was money facing elimination just a few days ago. Get it done.
Yeah, get it done. So I just, again, the optimism has to be there. How you feeling about this team right now tonight, about this game right now tonight? And Don, with all your baseball background, do you, if you're Boone, do you do anything with the lineup? Do you say, you know what, because it has not been good. Now they like to feel like maybe they got into rhythm late in game 2, and those runs, as meaningless as they were to the outcome, weren't meaningless to an offense that was sputtering for the better part of the first game and a half of the series, right?
Right.
So would you buy into that and think, all right, guys started to feel it, I don't want to mess with it? Or would you say, I can't ignore 3 for 20 at the top of my order, and I probably need to change some things up and see if we can inject some life into this lineup? What would you do?
I put, first of all, when you look at the splits, righties have had success against Bieber. I got to put my best guys. I can't jerk around like I did in Game 1 against the Red Sox and worry about the matchup.
Yep.
I got to get, Paul Goldschmidt might go to the Hall of Fame. And he should be able to hit right. I need him
Taking
in the
Rice
lineup.
out?
I think I am.
Yeah. That sounds like an option.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
And Rice is available. He's available, with a bat. He's available.
Listen, it's all hands on deck. Like, everybody's going to get their shot.
Yep.
But when I'm facing elimination, I got to put my best foot forward.
Well, Rice went into the playoffs red hot.
Yeah.
And then you sat him for game 1.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been the same since.
Right. Well, he hit the home run the first pitch he saw against the Red Sox in game 2.
Right. But he really hasn't been money. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been money. I think you're right. All right, so there's one. What about but Grisham? I mean, you got to play him. But
listen,
but
he's
you
been
lead
great
him off?
all year.
So you lead him off. You're gonna stick with him. You're gonna trust him that he'll find it.
The thing when you talk about trust, what are you trusting? What you saw this year, or what he's been in his career, which was a journeyman ball player? It has the chariot turned back into a pumpkin for him at the worst possible time.
Sometimes
he's
happens
been
to
a
guys.
strikeout.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they're going to look at the matchups. They're not going to change who they are. A leopard doesn't change his stripes.
But Boone did allow for the thought of tinkering with a few ideas, and one of them is at the top of the order. And so if he's openly saying that, clearly he could do it. Because I don't think he's sending a message like trying to light a fire under Grisham. He wouldn't do that. That's not how he operates.
This might be the last game he plays as a Yankee. I don't know if he's coming back.
You don't know? Nobody knows. Yeah.
I mean, because you got all these young outfielders looking for a chance to play.
Bellinger's supposed to be your center fielder, or Dominguez is supposed to be your center fielder, I should say. And Bellinger, if you get to keep him.
I don't know if I can just have a guy that's been an automatic out in this postseason leading off.
So you would make the change?
Yeah.
All right.
Would you?
Yes. I think I want to signal to my team urgency by doing something dramatic. Now, I wouldn't do it because I know people will say, well, sometimes that can look like a panic move.
Oh.
But for me, it's urgency. What they did in game 1 against Crochet, that felt more like we're smarter than you. Mm-hmm. That didn't feel like urgency or like this is different. This is, hey, I gave you X amount of games. We can't do this again. And I can't have Judge at the plate with nobody on base. So that's why I think I would make a move there. Now, who would you put there? Because, Volpe hasn't been terrible. He does have bad at-bats.
I know. Listen, there's not a lot to choose from there.
I know.
But he has stepped up in this postseason. One of the few guys that has, right?
Yep. Jazz?
Also not awful. Not tremendous, but again, we don't have a lot to choose from here because nobody's really hit.
No.
Bellinger has meaningless home runs. Judge has been their best offensive player, but everybody's complaining because it's only one extra base hit and it was a double.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'm
amazing
anxious to see. They're going to obviously wait this out, but we're still waiting for the lineup's going to be. What do you think the lineup should be? How you feeling? I think you're...
Also, one more thing. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The other thing I was thinking of today, the things to talk about going into tonight, is the circle of trust thing. Weaver's got to be out.
I don't see how you can do it.
There's no condition tonight where he comes in the game. Zero. Agree or disagree?
I agree with you.
He'll be in uniform. There's no chance. He has to know I'm not playing today. That's of all your options, he should be the last that you bring in if you need. And I don't want to hear about trust and all this other stuff. Believe in him. He's going through it right now. He is literally not available to you right now. He shouldn't play.
It should be just about.
So if Rodon gives you,
else.
What if Rodon gives you 6 innings, 7th inning? Because you get Devin Williams, your 8th inning guy. He's actually been good, right?
Yeah,
we just didn't have to see him. He's been good. Bednar you got to trust. Although again, he's your closer though. But now it becomes who's that 7th inning guy? Because Rodon's going to go 5 and change, maybe 6. He's not going 8. He doesn't. It's just not who he is. So if you're getting to the 7th, who is it? Cruz? You trust him?
No.
Guy's emotional.
Don't trust Weaver.
You ever see
Hill?
You ever see those guys that when things go well, the way they react, they're punching the air and screaming. It's almost like Is he surprised?
No, well,
like, is he so fired up because he's almost shocked by his performance?
Cruz got criticized for how pumped up he was, considering that like the outs were rockets. Like he was celebrating, kind of being lucky.
But you see what I mean? Like I get emotion in like a unreal moment where you get a huge strikeout. But the way he carries on sometimes, it's almost like, are you like almost surprised that this happened?
I think he was surprised. But so who?
So I don't trust.
Listen, the perfect world is Rodon gives you 7. You go to Williams in the 8th. You go to the Bednar in the 9th, and that's
what you're
gold.
hoping for.
That's gold. But against this offense in a hitter's park,
and Rodon just
where
doesn't,
they're playing,
like he's a 5 and change 6 guy. Like I don't know if he can give you that.
And also, Boone, you know the way the sport is right now, that it's going to have to be 7 brilliant innings, right? Because he's going to be itching to go to his bullpen the second that there's like a lot of trouble. So
are you crazy?
No, but think about it, though.
Can't be itching to go to that bullpen.
It depends on what it is.
Just bring. Do you know what? This is what you do. Just bring out dynamite, throw it on the mound, light it up, rather than go to that bullpen now. How could you possibly want to go? Like, how could you be itching to go to that bullpen? This ain't the Brewers.
But here's the thing, and this is why it's hard to wrap my mind around the Yankees coming back and winning the series.
Yeah,
is because your bullpen is going to consist of guys that you might want pitching in potential games 4 and 5 of the series, right? Like, think about it.
Yes.
Are you going to go to Weaver? Are you going to go to Cruz? Or are you going to go? Are you going to
lighter
tap? No, you're not going to any of those guys, right? Are you going to tap Max Fried, who didn't throw a ton of pitches the other day, and say, "Hey, we're back at Yankee Stadium. We need 3 outs. Go out there and get the job done for us."
Is this like, what are they, the throw day thing? Could he do that?
I think it would because he blew up on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Wednesday.
Well, he didn't throw. I'm just saying you're facing elimination.
I'm with you.
If the game's 2-0 Yankees and there's runners at first and second, nobody out in the 7th inning. Are you going to tax Weaver? Are you going to say
no way you can go to Weaver?
I'm just saying. Are you going to bring in Devin Williams for a 2 to give you 2 innings to get to Bednar? Are you going to have Bednar give you 5-6 outs, or are you going to go, Max, go out? Can you get me out of this jam?
Yeah, I think anything's got.
Or listen,
I think you're right. Everything's got to be on the table.
But it's got to be right.
Yeah, it has to be.
And if you're losing 2-0, what are you doing? Right? You can't afford to have them put up a 5 spot. You got to get out of that inning, and then you got to hope that your offense gets you back into the game. You're needing outs. What are you going to do? Go to the bullpen? You saw what happened in Detroit a couple of weeks ago. You saw what's happened in Toronto. A 2-1 game becomes a 10-1 game because you start going to the underbelly of the bullpen because you can't get to Williams or Bednar.
Yep.
But you're facing elimination. There's no tomorrow. What are you resting these guys for, right? I mean, is it going to be that kind of night? Like, I don't know. I guess Boone will speak who are some of the starters that could be available.
Yeah.
But considering Fried didn't pitch a ton on Saturday, it might be his throw day. It's Yankee Stadium, not Toronto. He shouldn't be spooked by his own fan base. He's been good at home. If I need an out.
Fried was Sunday.
So is it? No, it was.
Heel was.
Heel. So Sunday. No, I guess it's too soon.
Yeah.
So it was, I'm trying to confuse with the weekend, Saturday. So,
yeah. So you had me going like, wait a minute.
Well, all right, but again, how you feeling?
So it'd be
all right,
heel.
but let's just say it's one day off. How many pitches did he throw on Sunday?
He was in the 70s.
I mean, if he feels okay, do you do it? Do you go to heel?
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I don't know how. See, I'm not smart enough to know how this stuff works. I'm only smart enough to know who I'm not going to. I got to be honest. Like I'm telling you,
I'm saying
if he goes to, he can't bring that dude in. Can't do it.
Blackburn, no. Cruz, no.
No.
Duvall, no.
No way.
So you're talking about.
Oh my God, this.
All right, so you're talking about and if you're not going to ask Weaver or Bednar to exert more than just getting 3-4 outs, it's Warren, Schlittler.
No, we can't Warren.
Yep. Well,
then he just
yeah. I'm just saying these are the pitchers that they have on their roster.
Yeah.
Warren can't do it, right? So now you're looking at your potential Game 4 starter. You know, asking Max Fried, you got anything in the tank? It's the end of the year. What did Jim Cott say? You can rest in November. You go back to heel. Well, I mean,
Why not?
I don't know who's available. Again, they're not gonna kill pitchers. They're not gonna blow arms out. But you remember all the times guys like Randy Johnson coming in getting saves. Remember back in with the Giants' last championship in 2014. Remember Madison Bumgarner came in getting the save.
Yeah, that's right. He ended up being the closer.
Right? Yeah, I don't think he's on more than 1 day's rest, getting outs.
Listen,
that's why you get in trouble because you can't afford to say, "Well, I'm sorry, Cam, I can't pitch you in this tough spot because I need you tomorrow." There might not be a tomorrow.
Yeah, but you don't do that.
No,
not bringing in Cam Schlittler tonight. God help me if he comes in the game. Well,
all right, you're
losing this
You're
series.
in the dugout. You got Weaver. So you're going to go to Weaver then?
The hell with you. I'll go out there. I'll send out a position player.
I'm just saying, this is what you got to do.
If you're in that dire straits, the game's probably already over. That's rough.
I don't want to think that way.
I want to think about a Yankee team that gets on the board early.
All this.
You got to have that so you're not chasing. They have no momentum, and you get your plays kind of riled up. That's all the stuff that has to happen. Will it happen? I don't know because the Blue Jays in the first 2 games have looked like a team that had all the answers. They had the cheat code, Don. Yeah. They did. They had all the answers.
You're going to have to score.
And they were as prepared for those first 2 games as any team could possibly be. Now, what are they prepared for here? They've seen Rodon twice. They know what he's about. Are they ready for everything he's got? Does Rodon have something different to give them? Beyond the fastball and the splitter. Is he going to do something else? Is he going to – he does have other, third and fourth pitches. Does he keep them off balance by using them more? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about watching it is like, how does he keep them off balance? Because guess what? The Yankee offense was off balance for the better part of the first 2 games. It was as if they didn't know what was coming. And they saw Gausman 4 times before game 1. And they didn't know what was coming.
Got to figure it out. Got to score some runs and make it a moot point.
Let's get there. Yeah.
They've got a weather delay in Detroit. So the Tiger-Mariner game, which is supposed to start at like 4:08, is going to be delayed because it looks like there's a massive storm. I'm looking at the pregame, and they've got David Ortiz playing weatherman. So looks like Fox got nothing right now. 1-800-919-3776. Lots to talk about with the Yankees. We've got Talk About It Tuesday coming up at 4:30.
Hockey
We've got
season,
ESPN at 6.
Hockey season.
Giannis coming to the Knicks. We keep hearing that. And I don't want to hear from nothing because Alan's been on this for months. So
tried to tell you.
We got so much to get into. But your calls on the Yankees next. 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7. Right here in ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it. Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. Good afternoon. Do or die for the Yanks tonight in the Bronx. If you're getting an early start using the inbound George, no big issues on both the upper and lower decks. Deegan northbound looks like a crash over by the long-term roadwork near Grand Concourse. You're solid there from the Triborough and the Bruckner. After that, just a bit slow heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound George. Outbound Lincoln and Holland Tunnels, just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Slow crawl on the LIE eastbound, trying to make your way into Nassau County. Hitting the brakes there from the BQE in Queens. Solid ride on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore. Your stop and go from Slauson Avenue. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's just so interesting facing elimination. You don't have the luxury to think about tomorrow. You can't. So really anything could be on the table with so many holes in this bullpen, so many guys you don't trust. You know, you just wonder, how deep would you go? What kind of wacky thing? Don't be surprised in a tight situation. You see
a starter,
Max Fried, like warming up.
Or Heel.
Mm-hmm. Right? Or Cam. I know he's your game 4 starter, but there might not be a game 4, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds ridiculous, but you look at, we were reminded on social media back in '88, Oral Hershiser.
Yep,
look at the innings he gobbled up. Madison Bumgarner in 2014. You look at the run with the Diamondbacks.
But you don't do that in a division series.
You do it when you're facing elimination. So what's your argument? Is that, well, I'm sorry, I got to save these guys for games that may not be played?
If I'm leading, now if I'm, like, how are you doing this?
If you're leading.
If I'm trailing, it's a different story.
Trailing, I don't.
Because I'm desperate now. But if I'm leading, I'm trying to protect the lead. I can't be like Cam Schlittler's my only chance to win the series.
Well,
if I get out of this game, and I know you're saying, but you got to get out of this game first. But if I get out of this game, what good is it? Right?
Right.
Like if I get out of this game and I have nobody to start a game for, what am I doing?
I know, but you know what?
So I get what you're
tough.
saying.
Listen, leading, you desperately want to protect the lead, right?
I want to see other things. Like I want to see their approach at the plate. I'm looking at more of how do they get this offense untracked, and do they think they did from the 7th inning on in game 2? Or was that just bad relievers?
It was 13-2,
right.
but unless you do anything that's going to gain confidence,
you tell
right?
yourself in your head, oh no, we're cruising now. Oh, we flipped it. We finally got it going. Whatever it is that gets you to believe it. But I am curious to see though, do they go back to more swing and miss again? Do the Blue Jays just have something in the playbook that they just know this is how we're playing them, and they just can't handle it? Because I'll tell you what, if there's no runs scored in like the first 4 innings, you really got to get concerned here.
What you look to do when you talk about thinking outside the box is you're not desperate to take Rodon. And if Rodon's going to want the ball, if it's 110 pitches,
how many
runs?
How many runs would he have to give up? Or runs with runners on base in an inning?
I don't,
for you to say he's got to come out of the game.
I don't know, because
I'm thinking even if he's given up 5, I might still have to leave him in there.
I need to know, because again, you're asking yourself the question: am I better off with whoever is going to come in to relieve him?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Like, so if I've got a great bullpen, yeah, I'm itching to do it, but what I don't want to see is, and that's where I talk about itching, like after 100 pitches, I'm looking to get him out of there. No, it's the last game of the season.
No, he's got to,
right?
Yes, that I agree with.
Listen, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but you know what? If you got to go 120 pitches to get out of this, to get me, I need to get to Devin Williams in the 8th.
Yeah.
And if it's 7 2/3, there's a runner at second base, it's a 2-1 game, and I'm looking at that bullpen, then I got to bring Devin Williams in to get 4 outs. Or I'm going to have to get Devin Williams to get 3, and then Bednar's going to have to get 4.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to have Rodon throw 5-6 more pitches than he's used to get me there, man. You got all summer. You got the whole winter to rest up.
Or you got a week. Because like if you,
he's not going to pitch again. Yeah.
Well, no, think about it. If I have to get you to empty the tank, and we end up winning this series, you won't pitch till a week anyway.
Right. But the answer can't be at the end of a loss and say, why did you take Rodon out?
Oh, because protecting him.
We were trying to protect him, and we were hoping to be able to put him on ice for the next time.
Well, if you're him,
there's no next time.
If you're him, aren't you saying the same thing?
No. Out of my cold dead hands, as Charlton Heston once said, on a different topic.
That's the way it should be. That's the way. No, I'm telling you, as a starting pitcher in an elimination game, that's the way it should be.
1-800-919-3776. Mike in Orlando, you get us started here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Everything.
So everything's on the table tonight, all hands on deck. 2 things that can't be happening right now, as the players, the fans, the media, the staff, the guy who cooks the meals in the locker room, we can't be thinking that the game is over, or the series isn't over. All we got to do is punch him in the mouth, and then we flip home field, and then, well, you can't flip home field, but you got to get home, you got to defend home field, and then you got to punch his chance. That's the first thing we can't let happen. Second thing, we got to stop pointing the finger at Judge. I think Don hammered it home very well yesterday and earlier on this show. He's batting .450. Obviously, he's held to a higher standard. He needs to hit home runs and have big hits. But we've gotten so mad at him in the past for not taking what the pitchers are giving him in the playoffs and swinging outside the zone. He's taking what the pitchers are giving him. He's taking singles. He's setting the table. If he goes 0 for 4 tonight, it's a different conversation, but he is nowhere near the reason that we're down 2-0.
He brings up an interesting point that I was also thinking about. If Judge, again, things don't go well tonight, how does the stadium treat him?
As he's walking off the field after a loss?
Or just after a swing and a miss, strikeout, walk back to the dugout.
They're going to be grumbling.
We have heard the building groan to him when he's not going and he strikes out. We have heard that. And I wonder, again, after another season where he's clearly the best player in the game, where he's going to be like a guy had a historic season, and yet it's not a given he'll win the MVP. And I'm talking about Cal Raleigh. He had an historic season, and it's not a given. In any other season, Cal Raleigh, you'd hand him the MVP trophy right now. But because of Judge, it's not a given. That's what kind of a year Judge had in a Yankee uniform. And yet, if he has a bases loaded, no out situation like he did in Game 1, is he going to hear it?
No, he's going to hear it.
And I'm not saying that he shouldn't. I'm not saying fans should. But it's like that stuff does twist a little with a team.
So there'll be people who claim, I was just booing the situation.
Don, the drama tonight.
No, the drama is
unreal.
And it's only the divisional round.
Like every time Boone walks out of the dugout to make a pitching change, like he's going to hear it. Like the drama is off the charts tonight.
It's amazing. Thursday was when they won the series against the Red Sox.
Yeah, euphoric.
We get to Tuesday, not even a week later. You're back in the same spot again, facing elimination.
So
and then we're just saying it's the divisional round. Even if you do the impossible and win the next 3, okay, now you got a best of 7 against either Seattle or Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Detroit that handled you during the regular season, and Seattle didn't, but still, it just did. Now it's another stage. And then if you get through that, it's the world's. It's amazing how long and crazy and the anxiety that you got to go through. But I was thinking about this because I brought up Greg Maddux. Right, Greg Maddux didn't have the same stats in the postseason that he had in the regular season. When you get historic players who are doing it better than anybody ever did it, is it realistic to expect them to duplicate that in the postseason against only good teams, against only good pitching, when everybody knows that you're the one guy I can't let beat me? Now, Judge, this series aside, has been bad. We're talking about a 200 hitter, all right? So I'm not defending that. I'm just saying I think the people that hold him to a higher standard have to realize how hard it is to be that good in the postseason when everybody's watching, everybody's trying to get you out. Like I'd say, Gausman, I think, threw that ball outside. He was okay with walking Judge.
Yeah, but he also knew what he was throwing. Judge can't resist.
Fine, but he also knew I can't against anybody else. He could afford to maybe throw one down because he doesn't want to have to walk a run in and take the chance that he gets hit at somebody.
Right.
Couldn't do that with Judge because he might
challenge
the building
him.
might not hold it.
Yeah, it might be out of the park.
So there's a respect level that comes with having to face a Judge that nobody else. Even Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was an amazing player, but there are so many good players on that team. All right, Jeter's going to hit a single and he might burn me, but he's not going to hit the ball 600 feet like Judge can with the bases loaded. So and then you had O'Neill and you had Tino Martinez, you had Bernie Williams, and then later on Alex Rodriguez and Matsui and Johnny Damon. There were just so many. So it was a difference. I'm not saying it was easier for Derek, but they didn't pitch to Derek the way they pitched to Judge.
I don't think they were afraid of Derek like they were afraid
because
of
he
Judge.
wasn't going to do the damage that Judge could do.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not defending the 200 batting
Maybe more
average.
like Bernie
Some
Williams.
It's bad.
Like you might like that. But
Bernie Williams, Bernie was a clutch guy.
Yeah.
But also Bernie wasn't the guy with all those great mashers that was on the top of the list of people that I can't let Bernie beat me.
Well, that's probably because that team had so much depth.
Right.
Who was the one guy you were afraid of? It wasn't a one guy.
It was just they all just stepped up in that moment.
The collective lineup was one, and then they always had every year some dude that just went on a toot, like you'd say.
So now I'm looking at a Yankee team and nobody's hitting. Jazz isn't hitting, right? Grisham's an automatic out. Bellinger's hitting meaningless home runs, right? So the one guy I got to make sure does not beat me. Gausman's in that situation, and he's saying to himself, if Bellinger beats me, fine. I can't have Judge beat me. So I'm going to throw a pitch out of the strike zone. Judge helped him out.
Mm-hmm.
If that's Bellinger, it's a different story.
No, it's true.
Because you end up walking Bellinger.
Again, you're reasoning so much of this, and fans don't reason. Fans want results.
No, I'm just.
You are the face of the frame. No, I get it.
Yeah.
And it's all of it's right. But a fan is not going to say, well, it's the playoffs and you're facing better teams that have all of their scouts are just focused on one thing instead of advancing the next series and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody's finding whatever loophole they possibly can find in every piece of video
of course.
to say, there it is, there's the hole.
But you're bringing up former Yankees, but none of them are Judge. And like Barry Bonds, not the same player in the postseason he was in the regular season.
How about Reggie?
Right? Well, Reggie was clutch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Reggie, he was Mr. October. There's some guys that are special.
That's a pretty big day.
So just always do it, right?
It's a pretty big day.
It is a big day.
3 home runs, man.
It was.
The third time. How has anybody thrown him anything to hit?
I know.
It's unreal.
It's crazy. And Reggie set a standard. Dave Winfield wasn't as good a player in the postseason.
Winfield never had a chance.
Yankees.
He never had a chance to really
But
do it.
One
in
World
October.
Series, that was it, and that's how he became Mr. May. We called her Dave yesterday, saying that's how Hal should be treating Judge, or wish George was still alive to treat him like that.
I had at some point today, Buster Olney and I had a conversation this morning, just back and forth, about this whole the George Steinbrenner thing that hangs over the franchise.
We're going to get to that.
And it's a very we both kind of came to the same place, and it's an interesting.
He must
place
have, because he tweeted something. I wonder if it was after the conversation.
Yeah,
with you.
we discussed it. It was, but it's so good, and there's little things that we both came up with about the version of George that people want to keep alive versus the real version of George. So,
Flavio in Brooklyn, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I told it was Anthony or Jacob that answered the phone that I believe today's going to be a sweep. I think that the Yankees are not going to come back being down 0-2. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in Game 2, from Jazz Chisholm to Trent Grisham, a combined total of 3 for 21, in Game 2. Completely unacceptable. I'm a diehard Mets fan. I want to see them suffer. I want to see the Yankees get swept and embarrassed. I can't put coin on, Carlos Rodon to get it done for me. I mean, Shane Bieber, I know that he's just coming back from Tommy John surgery, but I just think that momentum is on Toronto. I can see, Toronto winning this in a close manner, but I just think that, nobody should be giving Judge any type of banter. Rice isn't playing decent. He hasn't been as hot as he was, ending the regular season, but I just think that the Yankees, they no longer play baseball after today. And that's just my opinion.
Yeesh.
Well, I just think you're underrating the change of venue. Toronto had the confidence because they won every game but one against the Yankees in Toronto. Now the script flips to Yankee Stadium. Yankees have played the Blue Jays well there. Yankees have played well at home. Now, you might be right. They might get swept. But the change in venue is big. The Blue Jays are not going to have the same atmosphere. They're not going to have – they might come in with a swagger, but the Yankees should be able to come in with a bit of a swagger too. They're a good offensive team, especially in their building. They just took 2 out of 3 from Boston at Yankee Stadium. So the venue change is a big deal.
Oh, it is.
All right?
I
so
completely agree.
This is not like the last series where the venue didn't change. So the Yankees were facing elimination, but they knew they were going to be playing in their building the next 2 games with a chance to advance. Now, all bets are off once they have to go back to Toronto for Game 5, but at least for the next 2 games, you cannot underrate how the script flips when you change a venue like that. We'll see if the Yankees can take advantage of it. 1-800-919-3776. Talk about it Tuesday coming up at 4:30. ENN at 6. Take you right up till 7 o'clock. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
I have an ad brought to you by BetterHelp, all right? October 10th is World Mental Health Day. And this year, we're saying thank you, therapists. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you, so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate mean they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their licensed, tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. All right? This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today.
Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY.
Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager. Hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
So the lineup is out, and no significant changes that I see. Grisham's still going to lead off.
It's pretty much the same.
Play center field. Judge batting second in right field. Bellinger in left batting third. Rice is going to clean up at first, so no Goldschmidt. Stanton batting fifth, the DH. Chisholm at second. McMahon at third. Volpe stays in the 8th spot at shortstop, and Wells is going to catch and bat ninth. So that's the lineup against a righty. But when you look at the splits, that they don't really match up the same. But they probably go with different numbers. But just looking at Bieber's splits this year anyway, is that righties had actually hit him a little better. So But sticking with Grisham, who's batting 125 in the postseason, and how many strikeouts he's been.
Yeah, it's literally the same
tough.
lineup as Game 2.
Yeah, because it's going with the whole righty-lefty situation.
Yeah. So if you're Goldschmidt, how do you feel?
I'm disappointed, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, listen, I'm not disappointed that I get because Rice has been good, but that you're not getting a chance in an elimination game not to play. Over the last 7 games, Grisham's batting 130 with 11 strikeouts. Now he does walk. He's got 8 walks in that span. Over the last 15 games, he has struck out 20 times, and he's walked 12. But he's batting 176. But he's got 4 home runs in his last 15 games. Again, it's about the long ball. And the thing is, I'm sure that's – listen, Goldschmidt can hit home runs too. But that's the thing is that we talk about the Yankees being too reliant on the home run. But unfortunately, you don't want none, right? And they were out homered 5-1 in the last game, and the one home run that Bellinger hit was meaningless, right? It made it what was it? It was 12-0, became 12-2, whatever it was. It didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. And you bring up small ball. What was Philly thinking last night, trying to move the runner over to third base with nobody out?
Thank you for saying that. All the momentum in the world. Like that, they had it. The building finally woke up because it was dead in there. In the 8th inning, they had they had an opportunity. Schwarber gets up and strikes out, and you could just all the air sucked out of the building. Harper, nothing. Like it's all happening right there in that moment. And we're going to bunt? There's nobody out.
Bunting with nobody
bunting?
out. Again, and
they weren't in a scoring position.
The edict is you play for the tie at home because you get the last licks, but you got them on the ropes. Their bullpen is not. The Dodgers are.
You could see it. Trinan didn't have it. He didn't have, and you're going to bail him out.
Dodgers are good.
Hate that.
But their bullpen is not great.
No.
So you got 3 cracks at tying the game with a base hit. Now you reduce it down to 1 because of the possible sacrifice fly.
Yeah.
And in that building, there's a chance that any fly ball is going to go out anyway.
Never mind. You also set up for the double play.
And
when you bunt and you get on because they make the play at third, so now it's 1 out with a guy in front. Like you're just completely. I don't understand that decision at all.
And again, the fallacy of the predetermined outcome. What does our guy do? Bader smacks a single, right? But instead of it scoring the tying run, it just now there's runners at first and second, but there's 1 out, and eventually runners in the corners. They don't score. They lose the game 4-3.
Castellanos not a good runner. Were they just worried like they had to get him in scoring position, that he wouldn't be able to score from second on a base hit, so they wanted to get him to third? Were they thinking, like, is that your thinking? Because, by the way, Betts outran him to third.
I know, it's crazy.
They were both running to third.
But I always have this argument with football, with Rex, when Rex was the coach of the Jets. Always thinking positively. I think coaches have to think negatively. And here's what I mean. Don't think how good things are going to be if it works. Think about where you are if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? If it works, you've got a runner at third with 1 out, sacrifice fly ties the game, whatever. What if it doesn't work? My building's apoplectic, right? I made a 4-0 game into a 4-3 game. I got the tying run at second base. I've got a bad bullpen on the ropes. If my bunt doesn't work, I've taken a runner out of scoring position. I've pulled the plug on the crowd. I've let the Dodgers believe they're back into getting out of this thing. Why? Don't you think sometimes, as positive as you want to be, when you make a decision, all right, what am I left with if this doesn't work?
Right. You're taking the pressure off the pitcher rather than making him pitch.
And it's
and by the way, how like the Dodgers were ready. So it wasn't like you were fooling anybody. They were ready for it. I couldn't believe that. Talk about a fateful decision.
It was executed very well. I mean, the Dodgers, the
wheel play.
But that's a dangerous team. Listen, they beat the Reds. Reds didn't belong. And now they take care of the Phillies, and the Phillies. I mean, the Dodgers and that looks like it's going to be one hell of a series. Yeah. Those two teams are flat out good.
Yes, loaded. And one team can pitch the hell out. Like the Brewers, with their pitching, should be able to handle the Dodgers lineup.
Yeah. Now they don't hit a ton of home runs, but they did last night, and they get the win. Let's go to Andres in Lyndhurst. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Diehard Yankee fan here, but the season's done here, and I have a couple of points here because Rodon stinks. The bullpen is cooked. Grisham can't hit. We have to move on from him. Ben Rice is in a slump. I love Judge, but he can't come through in the clutch. That's 5 points so far. Number 6, playoff Stanton is cooked. That's a thing of the past. I'm ready to move on from Stanton. His salary for the next 2 seasons is $19 million, I believe. If we can find a taker for Stanton, he's clogging up our lineup. When we talk about roster construction, this is one of the issues. He's clogging up the lineup.
Well, the
He's
problem
old.
is he's not going to agree to be traded just anywhere.
Oh, wait, there's a lot there to dissect. So So Rodon, who has 18 wins, stinks. So he's not going to
saved your season last Tuesday,
Fine.
but that's okay.
But so there's no faith in him. The bullpen, I'm with you, 100%.
Yes.
It's lighter fluid, so I'm with you. Judge, you're ready to give up on him. There was somebody else.
Stanton, just getting cut bait.
No, there was somebody other than Stanton, but okay. Then we go to Stanton. Grisham. Grisham.
Done with him.
You're done with him.
Which you might
I don't know
be.
what to believe with Grisham. You're right. He had a good regular season, but he has not done it in the playoffs, and he needs to get paid. He's losing money right now. Yeah, and then playoff Stanton. Come on, man. First of all, he's not going anywhere. Second of all, the numbers you just gave me on how much his salary cost is not impeding you from being a good team. And when he's healthy, as we've seen, and we also can see how he can be a catalyst for the team in the clubhouse. And when things were going south in August, who's the guy that got hot?
Yeah.
And suddenly everybody kind of followed his lead. So, don't be so quick to
But I don't
like – this is what happens with fans, right? The Rats are the first ones to jump ship.
Well, listen, we're getting
Don't
calls.
do that. Not today.
I really thought we'd get a few calls believing. But it sounds like these Yankee fans
– You think people are quitting?
Like the team's cooked. Prove me wrong. 1-800-919-3776.
You selling your tickets tonight? Did you sell your tickets to Toronto fans tonight?
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That'll be something.
Wow.
No. Do you believe in why? Do you not believe in
We got to
why?
do better than this.
1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg just getting started here on a Tuesday on ESPN New York.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the FanDuel app today and get started. 21 and over in Fisley, Present, New York. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Your fantasy roster is set, the Smack Talk is heating up, and this season ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sportsbook for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook, download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, Alan.
I like when he holds it.
All right, don't get upset. This is all just an order of
importance.
Of
say it.
Oh, listen.
Importance.
No.
To this show. To this show.
In order
Also
of the station.
Important.
The Rangers open up their hockey season against the Penguins with coverage following Dan Grosser right here on 880
Hockey
at
first.
7:30. Yankees look to keep their season alive against the Blue Jays. Game 3, coverage on 1050 following Mariners-Tigers.
Yeah, baseball second.
Which may never start.
Only because
Rangers
there's no
coverage.
basketball.
No, we need to find out. I'm serious. Because there are people that care about these things, right? What happens if this game gets delayed to the point where it's playing while the Yankees have the first pitch? Will they take the Yankee first pitch and say bye-bye to Mariners and Tigers, or is there someplace else?
Can they put them on freeform?
I believe that the plan is that at the conclusion of Tigers-Mariners, then Yankee coverage will occur.
Okay, so all right,
Wait a
people
second.
are going to
And on 880, once Rangers coverage is over, you will hear the conclusion
All right, there you go.
of Yankees-Blue.
Now, when are they going to drop the puck at the Garden? Because it's the 100th anniversary.
9:57.
No, I'm saying it's the 100th anniversary. I'm just telling you, all right? Because I don't know if you know this or not. I used to do the Rangers for 20 years, okay?
Yeah.
I was not familiar with the work.
And I did a lot of opening nights because Kenny's a rumor early in the season. Between football and national hockey coverage and everything.
John Giannone on the call tonight, by the way.
And I was there, so I would have been on the call.
Correct.
But something suddenly came up. The 90th.
You're on assignment.
The 90th anniversary, I was there at the Garden.
Yeah.
And they had the ceremony. They brought all the former Rangers out. This is the 100th anniversary. They might drop that puck at like 10:15.
I don't know if they're doing that whole thing tonight.
Oh, because it's on national
I think
television?
opening ceremonies where they're going to announce the players, and they have named, I think, 7 or 8 games where they're going to do different centennial things. And I've heard from sources, which I can't reveal, of course.
Sources.
I believe that player intros are at 8, and the anthem's going to be around 8:08.
Well, I know who has that kind of information because he used to give it to me, and I will not reveal either.
No.
But that's very trustworthy.
Well, it's good.
Because I would always get asked by this individual when I'd be on the road, when's puck drop? And sometimes you don't know, and then you got to run around and you ask. So when the anthem, there's no 2 anthems tonight. So if they're dropping the puck at 8:08, all's good.
All right, so let everybody that's going to the game tonight just be aware. 8:08, that's all you got to worry about.
But it's going to be crazy, man, because believe it or not.
Are they exhuming like Lester Patrick and then they bring him out? Like, what are we doing here?
What do
like,
you
if we
do?
really we're going to celebrate it. You got to do it the right way. Holograms of like
wow, that's a good idea. We have the
Harry
technology.
Howell and give me some other names. I'm struggling
well,
here.
you can
Andy
go back.
Bathgate.
Go way
Am I
back.
good? Am I good?
Go
Andy
way back.
Bathgate?
Yeah,
That's
bring the
pretty
Cook
good.
brothers back. To
Oh, sure.
skate.
There you go.
Yeah.
I gave you Lester Patrick.
You did give me Lester Patrick.
Come on, that's a good pull.
Who played in the Stanley Cup final game at the age of like 41, and everybody went, "Oh my God!" And here I am, 57, looking at that, going, "That's not that old." And then Chris Chelios was like, "Hold my beer. I played defense till I was 47. Give me a break."
Wasn't Tim Thomas like 38, 39?
Oh,
Like, come
yeah.
on.
Well, Brodeur played past 41 years old.
It's no
Whatever.
big deal.
But the thing is that this is what's amazing about New York to me, because it's hockey. And you know how much I love hockey. But it's game 1 of 82, all right? And Sid coming to town isn't like it used to be because the Penguins aren't very good.
But it's still Sid.
That place, it's still going to be full.
Yep.
Like, that's what's great. Like
The Yankees are playing a must-win game tonight at the stadium, and the Garden will be filled for hockey tonight.
And they will
Confirmed.
give you updates because I stopped off at the the Ranger Devil preseason game last week.
Yep.
And that was when the Yankees were playing the Red Sox, and I was watching it on the computer. They were showing like highlights every time a run was scored and building. Like it's pretty cool how. And if there was a Nick preseason game, or
Same thing.
Maybe not a preseason game, but you know what I mean, a regular season game.
No, they were doing it
gets back.
Last year in the preseason during the Yankee run and the Met run. They were doing that.
Yeah.
Garden Vision. That's the fun part.
It's pretty cool. So it's gonna be fun tonight. Listen, it's game 1 of 82. I get it, but it's opening night, so it's always fun.
New
to
head
see the
coach.
Rangers back, new head coach, a new captain in JT Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're on the subject, we'll get right back to the Yankees. I wish nothing but the best for those guys, and I'm going to miss them. 20 years I did Rangers, and it's a completely new radio booth now because Dave and Kenny both went to TV to replace Sam and Joe, who retired. So good luck to those guys doing television. And Dave deserved the job. I'm so happy he got the job. But Alex Faust is going to be the primary radio guy, which is awesome. And then you're going to have a brand new analyst, Dave Starman, who, again, everybody's a little apprehensive because he never played. This guy is a savant when it comes to hockey. All right? He's been on the NHL Network doing color for World Juniors forever. He knows every player. He has worked every angle. He's been deep into the college history, and he knows his Rangers and he knows his NHL, and I think that is a tremendous hire. So looking forward to getting him back in the fold here at this radio station. John Giannone's doing the game tonight because Alex is doing baseball. But nothing but the best.
Starman is a guy who he is incredibly prepared. He knows he'll have every detail. That's what'll make it a great listen, is the wealth of knowledge about players and their backgrounds and their stories and what he sees on the ice, all of that combined. That's why it's great that he's getting this opportunity too.
So it's pretty awesome that hockey's getting started. Devils. Alex Thomas, by the way, I don't want to forget, he's the Hartford Wolfpack announcer, is going to be filling in for Alex when Alex has to fill in for Kenny when Kenny's doing all the things that he does. So it's a new booth, it's a new year, but we're looking forward to it. Devils and Islanders will get their stuff opening up. I'm not going to have a game against Carolina because that game's going to be on ESPN Plus. So my first game is going to be in Tampa on Saturday.
Saturday, what time?
7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lock it in.
And who the Islanders open up with? They've got a game on Thursday,
Put
too.
me on a spot.
Well, I figured you're the one person that would
staring
know.
At me.
You covered them forever.
Because Thursday, I have a game, too.
Oh, they got the Penguins, too.
Okay.
And then the Rangers go to the Penguins coming up in this home and home. So a lot of Sidney
Nick's
Crosby.
preseason Thursday night, by the way.
Cool.
This time
it'll
be at night. I'll be doing sideline for that one, and then the last 2 I'll be calling.
I love the fact that there's like so much stuff
busy
going on.
Yes.
And then there's football, despite what we've seen.
No,
they still
there
kick
really
them off.
isn't.
They still play. And listen, I love football, man, but you're going to lose a lot of face-offs. Yankees keep winning. There's going to be stories. This is a big Knicks season coming up, and I know it's regular season basketball. Some people might roll their eyes. When there's this much anticipation for a team like the Knicks, these games are going to matter.
Oh, and by the way.
So, hey, Giants and Jets, if you want, I know it's football, and everybody talks about football. I love football, too. But you know what? If you're going to lose every week, there's not going to be a lot of conversation around you, man.
In this market, you'll become secondary. People will still watch, and they'll care. But if with all the other stuff that's going on, including, of course, the Yankee potential run, if they can win tonight, keep it going. And this, look, I'm not big on hyperbole. You know how I am when it comes to the Knicks. I try to keep it like under promise, over deliver. This is the most anticipated season that I've ever experienced covering this team as a writer or a broadcaster.
And part of
incredible.
And I understand it's regular season basketball. But when you are anticipated to be a 1 seed, and I think need to be a 1 seed to make a run, and these games are going to matter. You start taking a series off, you start missing here and there, and then because who's going to be that team? Nobody had Cleveland on their bingo card to be the 1 seed last year, right? So who's going to come out of nowhere? It's not going to be Boston. It's not going to be Indiana.
Oh, I got a team. Detroit,
yeah. So all of a sudden, you let a couple of games slip away because, it's only October, November. These games are meaningless.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, we get to April, and why am I the 2 seed, not the 1 seed?
Yep.
Or why am I the 3 seed instead of the 1 seed? So, listen, I don't have to sell it. It's Knicks basketball. But you also have a new coach. Knicks and Rangers both have new coaches.
You have a new coach with a new system and a new style of play that he's trying to implement during the preseason, which is interesting. So there's a lot of that in the first 20 games you got to figure out and get through, which is going to make it compelling and watch. But then on top of it, there's always it's the NBA. So there's always another layer of drama.
There's always a story.
And you know what that layer of drama is? It's Giannis.
Well,
he's not going
We're going
away.
to get into that a little bit later on.
But I'm saying he's not
and
going away.
the other thing, too, and I don't think it's going to change because you got a new coach, but the one team that takes the regular season seriously, the one team that doesn't load manage are the Knicks. So they bring it every night.
We'll see.
Well, I
Things
said new
could
coach.
change.
We'll see. But
Yeah.
still, I don't think they're going to go from like 0 to 60 on this thing. They're still going to be fun to watch. Let's go to Vinny, Staten Island. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Vin?
What's up, guys? Guys, I'm going to give you the reason why the Yankees can't win World Series.
Okay.
Too many free swingers in the lineup. Giancarlo Stanton is a human strikeout. He just got to take him out of the lineup. Chisholm is another human strikeout. The leadoff hit is a human strikeout. They got to go back to the traditional way of playing baseball. You need table setters. You cannot win 3 or 4 series with free swingers like that. The only guy, everybody's on Judge, but he's actually hitting what the pitchers give him. He's getting base hits. He's not getting no pitches. You don't get pitches in the playoffs. When you're a good hitter, they're not going to give you nothing to hit in the series. Not like the regular season where you can just load up and hit home runs. You're going to see good pitches, and you're going to get tough pitches to hit. And they got to tone it down. You got to play a little small ball, and you got to get table setters. You just can't be free swingers.
All right, Vinny, just not that I disagree with you because I miss the old way, which is why you really have an appreciation for Toronto and how they play, right? That's how they play. But I do have to ask you, though, how did they get to the World Series last year?
But did they win?
But did they get there? You said they can't win.
They didn't win.
But they won 3 series.
That means nothing.
But they.
Well, that's how Cypress thinks. He's part of that. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy.
No. You said you can't. Like you said, you can't win 3 series. They won 2 series and got to that 3rd series playing their way. I know they lost. No. You're fighting me, and we're on the same side. What I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is, that's their response. Is see our way works. See it works. So you and I could watch Toronto play and say, see, that's baseball, and I appreciate that. That's how you're supposed to play. Get on base and really cause havoc and be athletic. And the Yankees say, no. Our way works. Look, we got there last year.
Well, and they didn't, and you didn't win last year because you kicked the ball around and you didn't have the fundamentals to be able to win that series.
Yeah, they'll argue that if we were better defensively, maybe we would have won.
But it's interesting because I agree. I think all 3 of us agree. The approach needs to change. This home run or nothing.
Yes,
all right?
I agree too.
They disagree. They believe home runs are where it's at. Because you know what they're going to tell you? All right, everybody talks about Toronto making contact, putting balls in play. They hit 5 home runs on Sunday.
That's a good point.
All right, so they're hitting home runs. The Brewers, who don't hit home runs, hit home runs last night. I mean, home runs are still a way to score.
Actually, the team that wins championships every year usually is the one that hit the most home runs.
But what I'd like to see is the happy medium, just like with the analytics, that every once in a while, in a big spot, maybe with the bases loaded, nobody out, that you're not thinking about a grand slam home run when the game's 2-0, that maybe just making the contact and getting a single and tying the game could actually work. So if you want to say our philosophy is to bash the ball, launch angle, exit velocity, all that stuff, fine. But at least give me every once in a while where the ground ball to second with a runner at second, moving him over to third and a sacrifice fly can work just as well as the solo home run.
Mm-hmm.
And putting the ball in play can actually get teams to kick the ball around the way the Yankees did last year.
Isn't that how they beat the Red Sox?
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't that game 3?
Yeah. Put the ball in play.
Make the guy have to make a weird catch on a humpback liner. And he couldn't do it.
They're not going to change, unfortunately. But I do wish, just like the analytics, they leave a little wiggle room to kind of change it up just a little bit every once in a while, not be so reliant on the home run. But here's why the argument's not good. They're not even hitting home runs now. So nothing's working. They're not making any contact. They're striking out way too much, but they're not hitting home runs. And when they do hit home runs, they seem to be in very meaningless situations.
You know what it feels like?
That's the difference.
It feels like this style, when it's not clicking, you look really bad.
Yeah.
Right? Because it looks unreal. Like we'll all remember. Let's go way back to the torpedo bat days. Those couple of games at the start of the season, they looked like that looked a lot of fun, didn't it? And we were blaming the bat. Oh, it must be these crazy bats. No, it was clicking. But we also know that when it doesn't click, it looks terrible. There's really incredible extremes with this type of play.
Because when you strike out, nothing good could happen.
It's the same as shooting a lot of threes.
Well, they'll say, but at least you could hit threes.
But if you miss them, it looks really bad.
The only positive striking out is if there's a runner on base, I didn't hit into a double play.
Yep.
But otherwise, there's no productivity. There are ways, if I put the ball in play, maybe they'll make an error, a throwing error. Ball goes between his legs. Maybe it finds a hole. Something can happen.
There's a greater probability.
That changes it. And you would think in analytics, wouldn't I want the probabilities to be on my side? If I put the ball in play, a lot of good things can happen.
Analytics are about absolutes,
but
not
unfortunately, if I swing that way, there's less of a chance of me hitting a home run. If I choke up, like I tell my 8-year-old son when I'm coaching him in baseball, we get 2 strikes. I'm still old school. I got no computer, so I'm just telling him 2 strikes, protect the plate. All right, got to widen the strike zone. You got to choke up. You got to shorten your swing. No, these guys, 3-0, 0-2, doesn't matter. My job is to hit the ball 400 feet. That's what they're saying to you. Unfortunately, the byproduct of that is a lot of strikeouts. If I try to cut down my strikeouts and make contact, I hit less home runs. They don't want that. They don't want the answer to be less home runs. Believe me, Michael argued this with Boone all the time.
I understand.
It is their philosophy.
Think about our mentality, though. Aaron Judge is 8 for 18 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And what are we saying?
He's not hitting home runs?
Yeah.
He's only got 1 double.
So what? So he's 8 for 18. So he's putting the ball in play. So he's getting on base with little base hits because he's shortening.
Yeah, but
you said, he's shortening his swing.
True.
He's getting long counts. 8 for 18. Look, he's setting the table.
But
Problem is that's not. You don't expect that from him.
You want a little of both. But you know what I would say? Hey, one of the reasons you beat the Red Sox was because a ball that should have been caught off the bat of Judge that was ruled a single helped you win that game and stay alive.
Yep.
Right? So if he struck out on that play, the Yankees don't score, maybe don't win the game, and they're not even in this series.
And we're talking hockey today.
I never finished out the read. I apologize. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
That was the whole segment. Was all Tullamore Dew.
You know what? So they got the read. Believe me, Tullamore Dew's got nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain. And they make a tremendous product. All right?
Can we get some?
And you complain less when you drink it.
Can we get
happy.
Can we get samples?
They always send one to my house.
Oh, really? Oh.
They don't send it to you?
Nope.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have revealed.
No.
It might have been through the Rangers.
Would have been great.
Because they're a big Rangers sponsor. I might have gotten that because I did Rangers. So now that I'm doing Devils, I might be out.
You got it because you're Don. That's why you
that's
got
not that's not a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. You might not know it, but it is.
There is because you're K or because you're Bart or because you're Rick. Because when you played, I mean, talk about it. Schoolgirl. This is what executives do. When you played, Rick, hi, Rick. Rick, hi. I'm a big fan, Rick. It's amazing. Most of these guys couldn't tell you the shape of a puck. All of a sudden, Rick played? They don't do that for me. They do that for Michael because Michael plays adjacent. You know, he calls Yankee games, so he's bigger than some guys that actually.
Well, he's the voice of the Yankees.
That's right.
That's a prominent position.
Oh,
it's a man of great respect.
Yes, and he deserves that, and he gets it. So he probably has
you're the voice.
6 bottles.
But that's what I mean. You're the voice of the Devils now.
I've gotten some stuff.
Yeah,
but we'll see if some of that stuff is Tullamore Dew. But they make a tremendous product, and thank you very much for it.
Yes.
Let's go to John. He's out in Pennsylvania. You're on ESPN New York. How are you, John?
How you doing, guys? First time we're talking. I just wanted to let you know you do a great job. Thanks for the entertainment. Love it.
Thank you.
Has anybody looked at the Guerrero stats against Rodon tonight? He's hitting 588.
Yeah, and he's. I was looking at his number. You know, it's funny you say that. It was the last thing on my mind during the last break, and then I got distracted. I know in this series he's already red hot. So if he's now facing somebody that he really likes to see, that it could get even worse. Let me find his splits and I'll get back to you. Career?
The only reason I'm bringing it up is I think we got to start pitching Guerrero like we treat Judge. I mean, tie him up a bit. You don't give him too much to hit. Let somebody else beat you. I don't see the point in pitching to him regularly right now, but they seem to be doing that. And if you switch it around and you look at the Yanks lineup tonight, Judge is 1 for 13 against Bieber with 8 Ks. I did not know that because I think they used to handle Bieber pretty well, but that one surprised me.
I'll give you this. So Vlad, 10 for 17 with a home run, 5 RBIs, and 21 plate appearances against Carlos Rodon. 4 walks.
So I understand.
4 extra base hits. Yeah, that's not great.
And to your point, he's super hot right now. Don't even pitch to him. Let somebody else beat you. I mean, if you're going to go down, don't go down being proud and trying to strike him out.
Well, you got to make sure because Varsho killed you the other day, right? So it's nice to walk Guerrero, but you got to get the other guys out too. You got to pitch him careful, and if you lose him, you lose him. But I'm with you. I've got to treat him. He's got to get the Judge treatment with those numbers, the way he's doing what he's doing in this series. He's got to be treated like Judge and Bonds and all that, man. It's crazy, but it can turn. Different venue. Can you imagine how that building will react if he gets struck out? You know, and just retired, I think people would look at that as some sort of a moral victory.
They really got to get on his case. What do you think of the jacket? Their home run jacket, that sport coat.
I find all those things corny. The Mariners with their trident.
The trident.
What if somebody gets poked in the eye? The stupid furry garbage they're doing.
Well, that was the Green Monster thing. Can you imagine, though, with the trident? This is like it's pointed fork. Baseball has the craziest injuries in the history of any sport, right? Do. Could you imagine a scenario?
Brick killed a guy.
Yeah, Brick killed a guy with a trident.
Could you imagine they're celebrating in the dugout and trident just catches someone right in the eye?
Don't you find it corny?
Well, of course it is. But of all things, a sharp object?
I know.
Of all things to have in a dugout, just filled with people jumping up and down going crazy. It's just like, let's just carry around this pitchfork real quick.
Yeah. Cal Riley out for the playoffs because after hitting a home run, he poked himself in the eye with a trident.
By a trident.
Oh.
Wait. Of every baseball injury you've ever heard, eye gouged by a trident.
Yeah, that would be right up there with who was the Giants? The Giants reliever, Jeremy Affeldt.
Yeah,
went on the cut himself trying to separate frozen hamburgers with a knife.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he had to go on the IL. Guys threw out their back lifting their kids.
But that's different. I'm talking about just the phrase "eye gouged by a trident" are things you just would never hear, not only in the 21st century, but in baseball.
I mean, there was the times where the Orioles were doing like the pie face and pieing everybody after the games or like walk-offs.
Yeah,
right. It got to the point people were getting injured that they had to
stop that.
Then some poor guy with an egg allergy, breaks out, can't play the next game.
But
we're waiting. That'll be baseball.
Of all sports, though, it would be baseball.
It would be baseball.
Something like that would happen.
Because these corny celebrations.
What happened at Raleigh? Oh,
I think they're
even eye gouged by a trident.
With the Mets with the oh my God, it was fine for a little while holding it up, but it's
at least it's a chain with that's harmless.
No, I'm not worried about the injury. I just think they get corny after a while. They just do. I'm just being serious. Like, remember when the Yankees had the celebration where somebody would pretend that they were the cameraman?
Yeah.
And it's funny the first time, and then it gets a little corny. But whatever. Baseball's a little corny, and that's kind of why we love it, right? Sometimes corny is fun. Why do I listen to Yacht Rock? Because it's corny. This weekend was the top 40 songs of 1980. So we're right in a wheelhouse of like corn pone, and I loved every second of it. I'm listening to Stacey Ladisaw. Let me be your angel. I'm listening to that and blasting it in the car. I'm lucky I didn't get pulled over for just being corny. But sometimes being corny is fun.
It's comfort food,
but
man.
It's still corny.
But it doesn't mean that you celebrate. Like, what team's going to have a crossbow? Like, it's just like imagine if the Pirates had like what do Pirates have? What with like a sword or something, a saber? Imagine they had some kind of pirate saber.
Yeah.
Like, a hook for a hand,
right?
And the hook just imagine if it catches schemes right in the pitching elbow and just rips it open. Like, it just, who has it? I mean, really, who has a trident in the dugout?
Right.
You see it. It's not like it isn't sharp. It's got a little pointed top to it.
Sure.
3 of them. And not once.
If football was corny, the New England Patriots, they'd be like firing muskets after they beat the Bills.
Well, they do.
But I'm talking to players, like after a touchdown.
Well, in Tampa, they shoot the cannon.
Well, but the players don't. The players are doing this. It's not like some yo-yo in a mascot uniform is throwing a trident up in the air. Whoever hits the home runs running around the dugout with a trident.
The sport coat, though. At least that's like you can throw that on, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool.
1-800-919-3776. Talk about it Tuesdays up next.
Oh, we
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is the Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. It's a must-win for the Yanks tonight in the Bronx. Game 3 of the division series against the Blue Jays. If you're heading that way already using the inbound, George, upper deck will run you about 10 to 15 minutes picking up the road work. Lower level in pretty good shape. Deegan just a bit slow, both up and down. Heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. And Metro North providing a couple of extra trains tonight on the Harlem, Hudson, and New Haven lines if you want to stick with mass transit. Outbound Lincoln just about 5 to 10. Outbound Hahn will run you 10 to 15. Bumper to bumper on the Bronx River Parkway northbound, a broken down car in the right lane by Pelham Parkway. Solid slowdowns there from the Cross Bronx. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law. And you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Check out that brand new Parlay Zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Sometimes you just can't take it anymore.
You're done. I'm done.
This is Let's Talk About It Tuesday.
And it's a really...
this idiot! With Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Sponsored by BetterHelp.
That's right.
We're talking hockey.
Talk About It Tuesday, sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking at pictures of Stacey Ladislaw and see how things went over the last 45 years.
On a work computer, Jake.
No, it's all good.
Computer.
It's all good. I just,
is it?
I wanted to know who was singing a song. That's all. I knew the name. I just didn't. I wanted to put a face to the name.
Oh, you did all right.
And now that's been done.
It's stuck in your head now.
You know, that's like that one time I searched that Snoop Dogg album that I wasn't supposed to.
And what happened? HR call?
Doggy style?
Just
no.
That album. Did
you really?
The cover.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that cover?
Yeah. Just searching it, what could have possibly come up?
Why must I be like that?
Listen, I searched it without the Snoop Dogg, and it did.
That's
immediately blocked me.
That's right. You forgot to say Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Milk was a bad choice from Jacob. That was a bad choice. Well, my Talk About It Tuesday, since it's the start of the NHL season, Sidney Crosby's in town. It bothers me, and I understand that Ranger fans, especially Ranger fans, have no love for Sidney Crosby, but I appreciate greatness. I appreciate how good he is.
Do you think they still like? You can't have
I just think it's. I just
right?
think it's in the DNA, right? You're not going to love the guy.
You respect him though.
But like Ovechkin, we should all appreciate seeing this type of greatness. But Sidney is so well-rounded that he's somebody you could have plopped him down in any era and he would have been great. I think that when it's all said and done, Sidney Crosby is going to be one of the top 5 players in the history of this league. And he's in Pittsburgh, and I've talked about it with Penguin fans when I was out there. You got to trade this guy. You'll get something for him, but they re-signed him. And they doubled down. They started getting other players. They go out and get Carlson. They re-up with Malkin. They re-up with Letang. Try to get another championship for Sidney Crosby, just like the Giants tried to get another championship for Eli Manning. And look what happened. And now Pittsburgh is going to be an also-ran with one of the greatest players on the planet. And I feel bad for Pittsburgh that could have gotten better, but I feel worse for Sidney. Now, he feels an attachment to that franchise. They were facing bankruptcy before he got there, and now they're one of the top earners in the National Hockey League, and he probably feels an obligation to be there. But this kind of player that still has a lot left should be playing games beyond the regular season, should be doing great things for a team that's got a chance to win a Stanley Cup. I'd like to see him playing in meaningful postseason games. I'd like to see him have a chance to win a cup before he retires. And because they wanted to hold on to him and because he's a good guy and didn't want to demand a trade, that it looks like, as great as it is that he's going to play for one franchise, this is not how a great player should go out with maybe 4 or 5 non-playoff appearances or exits in the first round and not getting a chance to sniff a championship. And I guess the same could be said, for Malkin too. But, Sidney Crosby should be playing in big games, not having his season end in April every year towards the end of his career.
He has an interesting quote. Emily Kaplan has a story about this on ESPN.com. And the quote from him is as if he's not denying that it's a narrative, right? Mm-hmm. He's not saying how ridiculous of a notion that is. Everything you just said, he's not denying any of it. His quote is, I know that if all my energy isn't towards what it needs to be, then I'm not giving myself the best chance for it to be successful. He said, though, if it ever came to that point, I would discuss it, but I don't feel like I'm there. So he's letting you know that, yeah, if we reach a point where the season's going nowhere and there's an opportunity for me to go somewhere, then I'll think about it then, but I'm not thinking about it now.
Yeah,
Do you believe that?
I'd like to see it. We'll see.
I mean, it's the only place he's known since he's 18.
I know.
Here's how long he's been in the league. I covered his draft. I was there.
Well, his draft, he ended up in Pittsburgh because it was after the lockout.
Yep.
So going into the 05-06 season,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't think it was fair to use the draft from the year before when Washington won the draft lottery and drafted Ovechkin.
Yep.
And then there was no season. So they actually put everybody in the lottery. Anybody. Any of the then 30 teams
everybody had a chance.
could have landed Sidney Crosby.
We all thought the Rangers were winning it.
And
Everybody thought, was like.
Do you remember the last two teams? Do you remember who had the second pick and who it was? It was between Pittsburgh and this team when it came down to the final draw.
20-something years ago.
I know. It was Anaheim. And they took Bobby Ryan, who was a really good player, but he's not Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
But
New Jersey,
Bobby
Ryan.
Yeah, South Jersey kid. Ended up playing in Ottawa for a while, too.
Yep.
But that's how Sidney got into the league, and he roomed with Mario. Got to play with Mario at the beginning of his career.
He roomed when he lived in his
So it really worked out well
estate.
because Pittsburgh, even though they were facing bankruptcy, still one of those teams because of Mario that kind of had a national appeal and all that. But I just think he deserves better. I think Pittsburgh could have moved on from him. So we'll
Where would
see.
you like to see him?
Well, listen, everybody would like to see him in a big market. You'd like to see him with the Rangers or the Flyers or maybe on the East Coast. I mean, I wouldn't want to see him out west.
He's an Ontario kid, right?
No, he's
no, he's Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. That's why all the rumors are that if he goes anywhere, it'll be Colorado to play with Nathan McKinnon. And that would be fine. I mean, the Colorado Avalanche have a sexy appeal because that's where Waugh and Sakic came. But I just want to see. I want to see him play in big games. I want to see that kind of greatness play.
The best place for him for the sport.
Well,
again, Gretzky goes to the Kings. That's sizzle, right? Messier goes to the Rangers. Sizzle. Those kind of moves. When Patrick Waugh went to Colorado, it wasn't sizzle, but it turned into that team went on
the Rangers would be good, right? Because that's where Gretzky ended his career, went to the Rangers, to have New York. And
but are the Rangers at a place where you want to bring in a guy like that?
No, and the Blackhawks aren't in a place. Like you say, play with Connor Bedard, but they're in also ran too. Boston, they're in the middle of a rebuild.
No.
So that leaves, when you look at the original six, it leaves Detroit. Detroit's
interesting.
An interesting team, right? And so that would probably be good for hockey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia's in a rebuild. That's another really good popular team. God,
he went to prep school there, I think.
Yeah. Did he? He went to Saint.
Yeah.
What's the name of the? It's going to bother me now. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Yeah, but Minnesota to play with Kaprizov, that would be really cool. But it looks like he's going to stay in Pittsburgh. But this conversation we had off the air,
Shattuck, by the way.
Yeah, Shattuck St. Marie. Yeah. That in other sports there would be something going on to get him to go to a certain market, and we started kind of talking about how things like that don't happen anymore, and that's what irritates you.
Yes. So what I want to talk about is watching football last night and seeing. Let's go back to the end of yesterday's show, and Peter throwing darts.
Yes.
And I just was about the Buffalo Bills. And you can't have 100% faith in them now, right? And I said, no, of course I do. And he thought it was a bad take. And I'm thinking, well, if you're paying attention to the NFL beyond, 31 other teams exist. And if you pay attention to those teams, what you're seeing right now is there is no, God, that team is like the it team.
Mm-hmm.
No one. Everybody has flaws. There are some teams that are interesting, but no one stands out. Even the Eagles now, they're talking about the Eagles like they could really start struggling here because they lost their identity. They got away from a running game. There's a lot of stuff now being said about the Eagles that they're not the same team. There's them. The Packers that we thought were going to be this team that's going to run to a Super Bowl, how have they looked? All of a sudden, we have questions about them. So I look at the Bills and what happened to them against the Patriots, and I think that was more about the Patriots. That maybe we forget that's a well-coached Patriots team, and Drake May is the next guy. And as much of a Jets fan you hate to say it, They found their next guy before you still have found your guy.
Right.
Now, when you look at the Bills, they are fine. And they still, to me, are the most complete team in the AFC. The Ravens, a mess. No Burrow again in Cincinnati. And then watch the Chiefs last night. And while it looked like they were about to win that game, it just shows you once again anything can happen in the NFL when there's parity. So the Jaguars, who with a offensive-minded head coach, have finally starting to get more out of Trevor Lawrence, and that improbable play to end that game last night with him falling down twice and then still ending up in the end zone.
That was incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Still thought he scored too early, but it turns out this is not the same Chiefs.
Exactly. So the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs like we knew them. The Chargers we thought would be good. We don't know. Now we're thinking maybe Denver is that team. See what I'm saying? What's happening in the NFL is that it's spread around now. There is no it team. Even the Chiefs that you hated and you were tired of seeing them, they're not the evil empire anymore. There aren't those teams that exist. And while that's nice because it's fair and look at how many teams have a chance, I can't stand it. NBA's like that. Like the NHL is the one that you could say, well, if you come out of Florida, you probably have a chance to win a Stanley Cup. Otherwise, no. Like at least in the NHL, you could say there's what? 4 teams?
Yeah.
3, right? And like a year after year, you kind of know they're going to be there. I feel like, to me, we've gone too far now with this whole idea of fairness and parity. I miss having super teams and teams you hate and teams you gun for and teams that we know about year after year that are always there every year. Every year you know that in the end, there's about 3 or 4 teams that are going to be there just because of who they are and what they're about. Why do we need to make sure that, that Pittsburgh has a chance to win, which obviously in this case they don't, especially in baseball, but that's them not trying. I cannot stand what's happening in sports. It's become too much parity. And I think it's taken some of the sizzle out of it. That's how I feel.
Well, you want to.
I also want, like, this. Your big markets should matter. They should matter. You shouldn't be sending your best players to small markets. That's why the Sidney Crosby thing you and I talked about is what really got me. He should be in a big market because he's a big-time player, because that helps a sport.
Especially a regional sport like baseball and hockey, right? You could overcome it in basketball and football because the stars are bigger than the teams. So Peyton Manning could be a star in Indianapolis. LeBron James could be a star in Cleveland. But in baseball and hockey, it's hard.
I even think it wasn't great when he was in Cleveland. It wasn't great. It's way better he's in L.A.
Oh,
way better.
Well, unfortunately now it would be even better if it was 20 years ago.
Of course. But because look at Kobe. Like that, it just matters. The NBA became what it became because they had stars in the biggest markets. It mattered.
Right, well,
David Stern recognized that.
Magic and Bird went to Boston and L.A.
Yeah, but then from there, everybody else had to find their. I mean, Michael was in Chicago. Patrick went to New York. Like, those things started to build the league up. And then this whole idea is like, well, we got to get some stars and sharp. Like, I just feel like it's nice to a point, but when you water it down to where it's this level, that's the kind of football we're getting this year.
Well, yeah.
We're getting football that is not high-level football, and we're getting too many teams now that have more – they have more things wrong with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't even know if I'm making the point the right way, but in the NFL, it's really what got me is the NFL is watching the game last night, and it told me that there are more teams with flaws than there are teams that are just really good.
Yeah, there's
and that's fair.
Yeah, you want that gold standard. Now, nobody wants to see the Cavaliers, Warriors every single year, but if you give me 5, 6 really good teams that I know where I have to go to get there, because if you're telling me there's no great teams, then you're telling me that there's no great football, there's no great hockey, there's no great baseball, there's no great basketball. You want to see greatness, so that you release something in between. But parity, I think, what you're saying is my sport is very average, and that's never good. Well, that was Let's Talk About It Tuesday, and that was sponsored by BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg take you up until 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the FanDuel app today and get started. 21 and over in Fisley, Present, New York. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet, Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
I was blaring this week. It was number 40. It was the first song on the countdown.
It's a white girl.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, that's a white girl.
Jacob, no. I saw the pictures. No.
No?
No.
That's a white girl. That sounds like a white girl.
Well, no.
But she's trying to.
And her album went to number 4 in R&B.
It was like when Donny Osmond was sounding like Michael Jackson, but you could hear enough to know that Donny was not Michael.
And I know that's not great. But I just enjoyed that
You just
song.
like the song.
Because I was 12 years old. It took me back to a different time,
I bet
man.
it did.
It's a different time. Let's get back to the busy phones at 1-800-919-3776. Let's dive back into the busy phones. And let's go to Connor in Scarsdale. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Connor?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. The issue I'm having as a Yankee fan, I think, is I'm not alone on this, is a lot of things have to go right for the Yankees. We got to get Judge hitting, for a little more power. Stanton's got to pick it up. But even if we get our offense clicking, it's not going to matter if the Jays keep playing the way that they are. They're hitting at a historical rate here with their offenses.
But do you really think that'll like that's the thing? It was almost comical, right? Like you got to feel like there's no way they can't possibly keep this up. If they score another 10 runs, all you do is tip your cap and go, my God, they must have known everything that was coming, right?
I hope I don't think they could keep it up for much longer. But all they need to do is one more game. Can they do it for a third game in a row? Right?
Be crazy.
It's scary.
But it's hard to believe they could keep that kind of a pace up.
But it's just like a helpless feeling, where it's like we're kind of more relying on them not playing as well as much as we are.
But here's the thing.
Better.
But Connor, you just nailed it too. There's a combination of things. They've been outscored 23-9, right? So yeah, they're not going to keep it up. They're not going to score 23 runs. They're not. What's the average of? They're not going to go out there and score 12 runs tonight. But the Yankees got to do a better job. I know they scored those 5 runs in garbage time, but they lost 10-2 and 13-7. All right. So the bats got to come alive. So even if you do a good job and hold the Blue Jays to a normal 5, 6 runs, 4 runs, are you going to score the 5 needed to win the game? Because that's been the problem with the Yankees forever. Yeah, defense killed them against the Dodgers, but they didn't hit on a consistent enough basis either. That's always been what's killed them. Not so much the pitching. It's been just a lack of hitting, and both have existed now. Now you're throwing kerosene on the fire. Now you're not hitting consistently. You're not hitting in home runs. And, oh, by the way, your pitching has been brutal. So now you need both of those things to get better. So what makes more sense? The Blue Jays coming back down to earth offensively? Okay. But now the Yankees got to get better offensively and better pitching. They got to do 2 things better.
So they scored 18 runs over the course of 7 innings through 2 games. They bridged 2 games, right? So was it the 7th? It was the right. They had 8 runs in the last in the 7th and 8th inning, right?
Because it was a 2-1 game,
right? So they had 8 runs, 7, 8, 9, and then they scored 11 runs, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So it's 19 runs.
19 runs
over 7 innings.
Over 7 innings, and
everything else has been normal. Right? 1 run, 1 run.
Yeah.
4 runs in the rest of it.
Normal.
So was that just that 7 inning stretch between 2 games? Like, is that reality, or is that just bad pitching and them just being ready?
I just think that what they are going to do.
The 7th and 8th innings were insane.
That's
just the bullpen blew up.
You hope the Blue Jays are just hot and they cool off. But are they hot, or are they they're hitting bad pitching? I'm sorry, Fried was bad.
Yeah.
Well, so was that a case of listen, the Blue Jays are just smoking right now, or is this, Fried didn't have it, and that's a good enough offensive team that they're going to expose bad pitching? That's what the Yankees are supposed to be, right? The Yankees are supposed to be eating up bad bullpens. Yes. They're supposed to eat up bad starting pitching.
Yeah.
Right? That's supposed to be their mantra. That's why if they can win tonight and then they're going to have an opener tomorrow, then you could see getting to a Game 5. But it's not cooling down the Blue Jays' bats. Can somebody with the Yankees pitch?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Somebody give them some innings.
Starting tonight, Los, on you.
Let's get it done. Big 5 o'clock hour. Take your phone calls, 1-800-919-3776. And because we're taking up until 7 o'clock, we are also going to have an ENN.
Yes.
And with Peter literally on the other side of the planet, this will be an Anthony Pusick vehicle. And there's some people that have taken exception to your parody point. So that's going to be brought up as well. How about that?
I like it.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Game 3 of the Division Series. Yanks taking on the Blue Jays tonight in the Bronx. Still no big issues if you're heading that way using the inbound. George looking really good for both the upper and lower decks. Deegan northbound stopping a ride heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound. George, solid slowdowns there from the McCombs Dam Bridge. Southbound side, some pockets of company heading in that direction from Fordham Road. Outbound Lincoln Orny about 10 to 15. Outbound Holland 15 to 20. Jammed on the belts eastbound in Brooklyn. Looks like a crash over by Bay 8th. Delays there from before the Verrazano. Another hit on the BQE eastbound, slowing you down left lane out right after the LIE in Queens. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today.
Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY.
Ballybet, Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Mel Kiper Jr.
If the Giants win 3 games, you would still bring back Brian Daboll?
I would. I'm into continuity, guys. You brought Brian Daboll here to be the head coach, and it hasn't worked. This is their quarterback. Brian Daboll needs to be there, because then you're really screwing up your quarterback. I'm not cutting the cord, because what you do is you take Jackson Dart back to being a rookie again, and you don't want that. Give them a chance to work together and see if they can develop, and Daboll and Dart together can get this thing going in the right direction.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I feel speechless. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson for 3. And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time...
It's Tully time! It's Tully time!
Rangers open up their season against the Penguins. Coverage right here after Dan Grassa on 880 at 7:30. Yankees look to keep their season alive against the Blue Jays in Game 3. That game can be heard on 1050 following Mariners-Tigers, and then on 880 following Ranger coverage. And they're still in a rain delay in Detroit.
Oh, boy.
Tigers and the Mariners. That's the only series where we've seen a split. That series even at a game apiece as they shift the scene to Detroit, because everybody else is up 2-0.
If that game does begin on FS1, where would the Yankee game be moved to?
That's a good question, because the game's going to start at 8, and the weather here is gorgeous, right? They're going to have a – now, the question is –
Who's their, like, alternative cable other than FS1?
But do they move Tigers, Mariners to the alternative
Well,
and
depends
start?
on who starts first. That's the thing. If it's still raining and it's 8:08 and the Yankees are going to throw, what is it? 8:08 is the Ranger game. What?
No, 8:08. It's same 8:08
deal?
for Yankees.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to find out where that game is going to be, because I don't know what the alternative. Is there an FS1-2?
FS2?
I don't know. They must have something that
I'm looking to see if there's any indication of it here, because now clearly, because we're at 5. Oh, that game could still.
Well, they got to get started. They're not started
soon.
yet,
Yeah.
and I think the game's got a chance to go more than 3 hours. So it's a
they'd have to
legitimate
start.
question you ask. But they haven't even put up like this, because I'm watching it on FS1 here. Not like, the game's going to start a certain time. They haven't even put that up yet. But although every time they show the stands, I don't see any rain. So I don't know what's going on. And believe it or not, we've got some afternoon hockey as the Panthers and the Blackhawks are about to get underway on ESPN. So we got a lot going on. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. So I think there's enough to feel good about the Yankees' chances. Bieber getting the chance to pitch. It's only the 6th time, I think the 7th time he'll start. He was 4-2 with an earned run average over 3.5 since coming back from Tommy John, and they went out and acquired him at the deadline, and he's a veteran, and he's going to go up against Rodon, who won 18 games this year and was terrific in an elimination game last week against the Red Sox. So the venue changes. The venue flips. So the Yankees just survive in advance, man. Get to tomorrow any way humanly possible. Now, in case you're just joining us and people get out of work at 5 o'clock, the lineup has not changed. So Grisham, despite all the strikeouts and a 125 batting average, is leading off with Judge second, Bellinger third, playing left field. Rice is going to clean up, play first. So no Goldschmidt, even though righties do have good numbers against Bieber. Stanton, he struggled as well, just 222 in the postseason with just 2 RBIs. Grisham, McMahon, Volpe, and Wells. Right now, in the lineup, their best offensive player has been Bellinger with a home run and 4 RBIs. Now, Judge has the .571 batting average in the postseason and the .444 batting average in this series, but he's only got the 1 overall RBI in the postseason. Also committed an error in the game, but it didn't matter. The game ended up being a blowout anyway. But that's what you're looking at. So
you got some of Boone yet? Did we get Boone pre, or is that from yesterday?
That's from yesterday.
Because
So
this is only a few minutes ago, so it's still pretty fresh. So I just from Brian Hoke.
Go ahead.
Boone, on keeping the same lineup, he said, "I just believe in this group a lot. This is our lineup that had a chance to do the most damage, while also having my right-handed guys on the bench that are real threats for their lefty specialists too."
Right. So Goldschmidt there.
So he's keeping him in the holster. On keeping Ben Rice in over Goldschmidt, despite Shane Bieber's splits, as you said, against the righties. And he said, Boone brought up the threat of Benny.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He's banking on Rice to have a, quote, a real chance to really wreck the game.
All right. Well, let's see it. Is it wreckable?
I love this guy.
Or are you not getting the pitching?
He really is. You would love to play for this guy. Like, how would you not? Mr. Optimism.
But this is the overall philosophy.
I always say this about you when I talk about, like, shows. I'm like, it's the threat of Donnie.
Oh, that's nice of you.
You never know. If I push the right button, suddenly he just detonates.
You do use me in that capacity sometimes of, dance for me. Clown.
I try to facilitate your greatness.
No, but I am John Stockton. And I try to do for you. Man.
I am John Stockton. there it is.
Yeah.
Slam
Stockton
it down, Don.
Alone.
Cut
his fat ass. Really good, entertaining, but never won, unfortunately. But still really good.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
You could have went.
You don't like Stockton?
No, listen, Stockton
one of the
Malone's
greatest
a really
men
good
in the
coach.
history of the game.
Absolutely.
Do you remember who used to pass the ball to Michael Jordan?
Well, it depended on the era.
Of course you don't.
Sometimes it was Paxson, right? Then there was Kerr.
Jake wants me to use Magic and Kareem.
Could have been Magic, Kareem. Could have kept it New York, Ewing and Starks.
I am more like Magic, like all the young buck, all excited, and Don's like the captain. Don's like Kareem, like looking at me like, kid, give me a break. All right, been here before.
I would never be. I would
kid,
be disrespectful.
dial it down. You're a little too enthusiastic.
I might do that to Peter, but I would never do that to you.
He's letting you know the offense runs through him. Pass him the ball. Get it down in the post.
Yeah, skyhook. Tried and true. Works every time.
Okay. So there's the explanation on the lineup.
All right. Do you buy it?
No, listen, I don't. That sounds like the standard.
I believe in my guys is what he's saying.
I guess
Grisham 1 for 8 in this series, 3 for 20 overall.
We killed him in Game 1 against the Red Sox because he didn't go with his traditional lineup. He got all caught up in the analytics, right?
Yep.
This is their lineup minus Goldschmidt.
This is your team.
But you get Goldschmidt coming off the bench, and if there's a key moment, 1-1 tie, they got a lefty, and then you get Goldschmidt hits a home run. It all worked out. But survive in advance. Mike in Connecticut thinks he's got the recipe for success. What do you got, buddy? Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Always.
So I think the goal for today, and I missed the beginning of the show, so I don't know if you guys touched on this, but you got to get 3 clean innings out of Rodon early. If Rodon can shut them down for at least the first few innings and give the Yankees a chance to get through that lineup once and put something up on the board, I think you're going to see a very different team. I think if the Yankees go down early before they score, I think they might be in trouble. But I think if they can score first, I think you're going to see some life in that team because they've been punched in the mouth pretty early in both of these first 2 games.
Yeah.
I will say – go ahead.
I was going to say, kind of along those lines, what we did talk about earlier, Mike, and I'll let you finish your point, is you'd love to just be able to have Rodon to Williams to Bednar.
Mm-hmm.
That's you don't want to have to find you don't want to see Weaver, you don't want to see Cruz.
Right.
Like you don't want to have an inning where it's somebody other than those 3. So whether it's taxing Rodon a little more or asking Williams and Bednar to do more than they expect. You'd like I think the recipe is that those are the only 3 guys that pitch.
It's amazing because with Rodon, like you really do need to get him through 6.
Then maybe you can mix and match Williams and
again, we asked this earlier, just for the new audience. I just don't think you cannot be quick hook in this one, even if because look, Carlos Rodon. There's 2 things that you'll deal with him. Sometimes early, he's a little off. First inning, right? He'll be dripping in sweat. 18 pitches, and you got to just live through it. Then he settles in, and then he gets to a rhythm. And then usually, like later on, then all of a sudden it starts. The wheels fall off with him.
Right.
I just think there's got to be a number, a deficit that you can live with, and keep him in because he's still better than going to – I mean, Weaver's got to be off the table. Can't be available tonight. No way. But Cruz, anybody else that you could think of before Devin Williams, I would rather have Rodon fighting it than bring somebody in and not know what am I getting out of this guy. The box of chocolates coming out of the bullpen these days.
What else you got, Mike?
Well, yeah, I was going to say that, like, you, as much as they can't go down early, you also, like you guys are saying, have to ride them, because who else do you go to? Like, now all the long guys have been bad.
So give me a number.
Everybody
How many?
except Devin and David have been bad.
Let me ask you this: how many run deficit are you willing to accept and say no, he's staying in? 3, 4,
3. I don't see how. Well, with the way this offense has looked, how they come back from 3 early.
But again, if it's 8, you have no chance, right?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I guess 3 with a couple of runners on, where like all of a sudden now you just can't afford to have.
Just get out of the inning.
Right.
Figure it out.
Because I can't have what happened the other night, right, where 5-0 becomes 9-0, and now it's over, right? You can't have 3-0 become 6-0, 3-0 become 5-0.
Right.
This is an offense in Yankee Stadium that should be dangerous. They could be every bit as dangerous as the Blue Jays. They've got good offensive players.
Yeah.
They've got Judge. They've got Bellinger. Right?
They have
got
the best
guys,
offense in baseball.
Right? So then they hit the most home runs in baseball.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say there should be no deficit, but I think you got a little leash to where, listen, if they're going to hit awful, they're not winning. But to ask a team with 12 outs to go in a game to come back from 3-0 down or 4-1 down, that's not asking a lot to do. All right?
Phillies almost did it last night.
The Blue Jays have a good bullpen. It's not the nasty boys, okay? You can get to them. And it's about time they do. And then once once it starts to flow, then you could start seeing a way of getting beyond just trying to extend it by a game.
And Shane Bieber, in his 7 starts during the regular season, coming back from Tommy John. So coming back from Tommy John, you would think a lot of times with Tommy John guys, you're probably not going to get a lot of length out of them, right, in the beginning?
Right.
But he's been between, 80 to 98 pitches in all of his outings. So it's not like they have to worry about him or baby him. There's no concern about, well, he's just coming back from an injury. There's, they're gonna, if he's feeling it, they're gonna let him go because they don't want to go to their bullpen. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other part of it. Can they get to Bieber early? Get on him, put pressure on him, and make Schneider now make a decision of whether or not he wants to keep going with Shane Bieber, because that's a big part of this too. Is what can the Yankees do to flip the game and now take advantage of it by getting to their bullpen?
Right. That's going to be the key. Dan in Saratoga, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I have a Yankees comment, and I have an important question to ask you guys if I can.
Yes.
I'm a Yankees, basically. I think this is how it's going to go. I'm a Yankees fan, but I think we're going to lose tonight. Wow. And if Judge goes 1 for 3 or 0 for 4, I think it's going to get super duper loud for him this offseason, no matter how many hits he has so far. But I don't see it. I just don't see it, man. I think we're getting outplayed.
Wow, there's so much pessimism.
I know. That's just how I feel.
Well, I mean,
every caller today, there's been a lot of pessimism.
I can't. Well, you got outscored 23 to,
to 7
or whatever, or 9. Whatever.
Doesn't that feel like so ridiculous, though? Giving up 23 runs when you're watching it is painful and frustrating. But then when you look back at the box scores and you see the numbers, each in the innings, and you look at it and you're like, that's ridiculous. Like, this is not typical. They don't. I know they've had their number this year. They don't own them like this.
All right, let's be honest here. Okay,
I'll tell you, if they scored 10 runs, tonight, Don, I don't even know.
They could. Listen, the script flipped.
I was about to tell you what I would do tomorrow on the air, but I can't even think of something.
All right. Well, because then you got to go through it again tomorrow. Because it does have the feel, though. If you can win tonight, they got an opener tomorrow.
No, I'm saying if the Blue Jays score another 10 runs.
Another 10 runs. Then
tonight. Double digits in each game? Did they, right?
How do you just say, oh, well, listen, we didn't have Cole, and we're just going to run it back? That would be tough to do. But the pessimism, I understand you're supposed to have hope, right? You're supposed to be a fan. You're supposed to believe. But honestly, what do you want these fans to grab onto? Because it's not just this series. It was all year with the Blue Jays. They couldn't beat the Blue Jays. Now, they did beat them at home, but overall, they won the season series. They had the same record. The Blue Jays had home field. Why? Because they had the tiebreaker. They won the season series. They won 8 of 9 games in Toronto. you're going to have to go back to Toronto for a Game 5. So even if you believe they can take care of business at Yankee Stadium, you still got to win Game 5 in Toronto, a place you can't win.
Crucible.
This team, almost didn't get past Boston. The Yankee fans have been negative a lot this year. They've seen this. You saw it, Alan, in August when the team was struggling, not being able to hit, kicking the ball around. So I think a lot of Yankee fans are like, well, this is kind of how this team has been in the postseason forever. We've seen them struggle against the Blue Jays all year, and now you want me to just blindly believe that they're going to win 3 in a row in advance. I can understand a Yankee fan being negative. Now, that's why I don't even think about that. If I'm a Yankee fan, I'm just thinking, can I win tonight? And the answer is yes, you can win tonight.
Just win tonight.
And if you do that, well, then tomorrow they've got an opener, and you've got some momentum. And Schlittler was fantastic last week. And now maybe you force a Game 5, and even though you never win in Toronto, they're going to feel it. This Toronto team that has never won anything in 30-some-odd years, right, since Joe Carter's home run, you don't think that they're going to be soiling themselves having to go back to Toronto for a Game 5 thinking, oh, my God, we're going to do it again. So don't think about Games 4 and 5. Just win tonight. And it is doable to do that. And then we'll assess where we stand tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's where the positivity. But if you're going to get clogged up in your mind of winning this series, that's after you just got outscored 23-9, it seems like fantasy. So don't think about that. Think about what's doable, and that's tonight. Because Game 4 and 5 right now is a fantasy. It doesn't exist. It's a myth unless you win tonight. And winning tonight is not nearly the impossibility that winning 3 in a row is. So come on, man. Focus on that. Survive in advance, right? That's all it is.
I don't know. I can't believe, like I said, the pessimism really is surprising.
It's crazy with the fan base, right?
Look, the Rodon thing is one thing, but, the caller brought up something earlier that, I had the numbers down here. As we talk about Judge and what you expect him to do and how he's like a star, catalyst for the Blue Jays has been who? Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah, big time.
And now, again, there was all the negative stuff between Guerrero and his feelings towards the Yankee organization from years ago when they were supposed to sign his dad, and then they ended up reversing course. By the way, George Steinbrenner was very much involved in that because he was a big Gary Sheffield guy, and he decided to go that direction. So the Guerreros felt put off, and so Vlad Jr. has always felt a certain way about the Yankees. He's starting off this series so far 6 for 9 with 2 home runs, including that unbelievable grand slam. Like he knew the pitch was coming.
Right.
And then 6 RBI total. Right. So he's already on a heater. But his career numbers against Rodon, he's very good. Hitting .588, 10 of 17. He's got a home run. He also has 3 doubles, 5 RBIs, 4 walks, 21 plate appearances. That's all he's done. Now, I'm not good at math, but I've got 17 at-bats, 10 hits, 4 walks, so 14 out of 21 plate appearances he's on base.
Wow.
Is that good?
That's very good.
It's insane.
That's insane.
So, needless to say, when Rodon's pitching, he kind of has a pretty good feel for him, right?
Yes.
Something to watch tonight. Does he have his kind of FU moment to the Yankees tonight in the Bronx?
Well, he's got a chance, and that's all you're asking for is a chance. Now, thanks to Andrew Marchand, he did the work. Tigers-Mariners, if it runs into Yankees-Blue Jays, Tigers-Mariners will shift to FS2.
Wow.
And the Yankees will begin on FS1. So no matter what happens, no matter when Tigers-Mariners begins.
So there is an FS2.
They will start on FS1, and then Tigers-Mariners will shift to FS2, which makes sense because that's the bigger audience is going to be the Yankees.
Now, you don't think Cal Raleigh, the expected MVP, is a big draw?
And Detroit's a pretty big market, but it's still the Yankees.
Listen,
and I think it's FS1.
If this
there's a reason why this game was 408 and the Yankees-Blue Jays were 808. They won it on FS1.
At the risk of echoing you about the Chiefs being 0-3, is there a place where baseball does not want to see the Yankees get swept here? You saw the numbers from the wild card, right? The TV numbers?
Yeah.
7 million people.
Watch Yankees-Red Sox.
Yeah.
No, of course they want the
All right.
Yankees, and they want the Dodgers in too.
If you remove the Yankees from the equation, and the Phillies are already facing like they might be out, what are we doing?
Well, let me ask you this, just so I don't get
Blue Jays, Mariners. Again, Tigers, God bless them.
Games don't.
I know that the Dodgers are still going to be able to carry the day, and maybe that's what you lean on. But you got to get more than 3 out of the New York market in the ALDS.
This is why I was being performative with the Chief stuff. All right. Who goes to the playoff? What 2 teams in baseball go to the playoffs every year over the last 20 years?
Well, the Yankees do.
Yankees and Dodgers.
Yeah. Well,
and
the Dodgers last
all right, but
15.
in those 15 years,
since the ownership change,
this was the first time the Yankees played the Dodgers. Yet they go to the playoffs every time.
Yeah.
2 years ago, we were, I would say, sentenced to a Ranger Diamondback World Series.
Yes.
So if they could Jimmy switch this, we wouldn't have to live through a Diamondback Ranger World Series.
I didn't say that they're going to force.
Hey, they want the Yankees to advance, but they won't do anything about it.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they do anything about it. What I'm saying is that, again, as we always like to joke about, we always say this about, in the NBA, always say in Olympic Tower. Like, when you're, like, the league itself is like, God, not even the league. It's more of, I think it would be Fox. God, this series can't be over already. Because when you said to me, Tigers, Mariners, I'm like, oh, my God.
Listen, and they got the possibility. Listen, they want all.
With everything starting up now? Come on.
Well, but more than that,
Who's
I think they
watching
want all their series to go 5, and then when they go to a best of 7, go 7. Because even though there isn't a lot of love for Mariners, Tigers, if all of a sudden there's a game 5 in that series, people are going to be interested because it's an elimination game. That's what makes these things fun.
This needs to be a dramatic series. This needs to be a series that the Yankees do come back in. Whatever happens in Game 5 is Game 5, right? But it just needs to be, because baseball needs this to be a good series. Phillies-Dodgers should have had some emotion in it, too. And last night, the Phillies gave it away. Like, they had a chance.
But those games were both good.
They were good
so
games.
So you want more of that, for sure.
You got to get more sizzle out of it. But this series can't end in a whimper where they lose 10-1 again. Like, my God. Like, what? It would almost be a rumor that the Yankees were in the ALDS.
It'd be quick.
You got to get something out of this. But the sport needs this to have some drama. The Blue Jays have an underlying hatred for the Yankees. You can see it in all their faces. There's something more here that needs to be tapped into. The Yankees can't just disappear like a ghost without any type of confrontation. It's better for the sport. Got to see it.
Yeah, because right now, just want to look at the schedule for tomorrow.
Tomorrow games?
Yeah, tomorrow's games.
You got the
so tomorrow you've got 4 games.
Yeah. Well, the Yankees will play. Game 4.
If the Yankees have to win to get to that 4.
Yep. Phillies, Dodgers.
All right.
Game 3.
So, but there's the potential that tomorrow, like if the Dodgers win and the Brewers win, then there'll be no baseball tomorrow.
No. The Phillies don't play today.
No, I'm saying tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
There's
yes.
4 games.
Yeah.
We don't. There may not be a Yankee game.
Oh, right.
But I'm saying there's 4 games.
Okay.
But those Chicago.
Yep.
The Yankees won't play on the 9th. So you're going to be looking at the possibility of Thursday not having any baseball.
No games on Thursday.
I mean, they don't want that.
No.
Like, they don't want empty nights in the playoffs.
Not yet.
And then there's going to be
Soon.
Thursday night football if anybody cares to see the Giants get destroyed by Philadelphia. And then if the Yankees are gone, all they could be left with is Detroit and Seattle for Friday.
Oof.
So 1 game in 2 days. That's not what you're looking for. 1-800-919-3776. More your calls on the Yankees. Buster only had some interesting things to say about Hal Steinbrenner.
Yep.
And is Giannis finally going to become a Knick? So much to do. ENN at 6, Don Hahn and Rosenberg until 7. Then it's Dan Grassa right here on ESPN New York.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Can't catch a break on the belts eastbound getting through Brooklyn. They cleaned up that crash over by Bay 8th, but now a new hit on the eastbound side. Left lane out by Pennsylvania Avenue. Slow crawl there from the Patagat Basin Bridge. Yanks home tonight in the Bronx. Game 3 of the division series against the Blue Jays. Still no issues at the inbound, George. It's a great ride on both the upper and lower decks. Cross Bronx eastbound slows you down heading over to the Deegan. They just cleaned up an accident by Jerome. Deegan, a bumper-to-bumper ride both up and down heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Outbound Lincoln already about 10 to 15 minutes. Outbound Hahn 15 to 20. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new Parlay Zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today.
Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY.
Ballybet, Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
All right, Aaron Boone has spoken. We gave you some of the words on why he went with the same lineup, but you can hear it right from the horse's mouth here, speaking before the big Game 3 at the stadium. Yankees needing to win to force a Game 4 tomorrow. Boone on facing elimination.
I trust in these guys and their preparation and readiness, and
and confidence that they're going to walk out there regardless of result. We're walking out there tonight expecting to win a game and expecting to be successful, and that's as far as our focus is, though, right now, is just keeping it small, go out there, win pitches, win innings, and hopefully force it to tomorrow.
That's all you can do. And Austin Wells catching, batting ninth. The mindset of the team facing elimination.
Same as it was last week. We got to win today, and the real only focus is going out there at 8 o'clock and doing what we can to, get Bieber off the mound as quickly as we can and put up a lot of runs so that, Carlos can go out there and do what he does best.
All right. How about the advantages of playing at Yankee Stadium, Austin?
Playing here, I think, it's one of the hardest places to play as an opponent. So you got the fans, the aura of the stadium working against you. So for us, we have all the confidence that we can win every game, but especially when we're here, we got the fans behind us and, the energy that they bring and the energy that we have being at home. I definitely feel like it helps us, and it's helped us, throughout the year as well.
So Wednesday and Thursday, Alan, they were in this exact same spot.
Yep.
At home,
against
facing elimination.
A far more flawed team, though.
So true, but I'm just saying is that in the third time in 5 days, they are going to be facing elimination in their own building, and they're 2-0. So they can't say they're not used to this. All right, this feeling is the same as it was last Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Now you're right, the opponent's different, and they could have very easily won Game 1 against Boston, and they were blowout losses in Toronto. So, yeah, it's a different set of circumstances, but they are going to face elimination for the third time in less than a week. So they should be used to it, all right? They've kind of gone through it here.
Yeah. It's again, you just expect to get their best. They look terrible in Toronto. They've had these moments during the season where they've looked really bad. They've had meetings and talked about it and gotten themselves right. All the things that – this is definitely that cliche time, but all that matters is just get out there and do it.
Now, the other difference between the two series is that you're not going to see the Blue Jays play this game as a must-win the way the Red Sox did in Game 2 of their series. Even though they'll be at a disadvantage tomorrow, similar to the Red Sox in having an opener, they've got a much wider opportunity to win than Boston did. Boston knew if they didn't win Game 2, they were probably cooked. And Cora was right. So he managed it that way, and the Yankees were able to take advantage of it. That won't be the case here. Blue Jays lose. I'm not saying they're all right with it. They don't want to leave the door open for them, but they're not going to feel that same sense of urgency that Boston felt. They treated that Game 2 as if they were facing elimination because they knew the disadvantages of now facing elimination the next night. Here, the Blue Jays have to lose 3 in a row. So it'll be managed a little bit different.
I just think you got to see something out of the offense. This has got to be a 5-run, type of game for this team.
Yeah,
they got to put some numbers on the board. The caller said almost strike early, get the crowd going, something like that. But it definitely feels like while Carlos Rodon's going to feel pressure because of where he, first of all, an offense that he's trying to slow down, but I also think the Yankee offense has to come to life because they weren't up until late in Game 2. They weren't good offensively. And that can take all – like the other team can hit the ball and stay hot, but if you also are scoring runs, you got to be able to keep pace. Now, again, I don't see them getting to 10. That's an insane pace that they were on. I mean, come on. 23 runs in 2 games is ridiculous. And they did 18 of those runs, as we said, in a 7-inning stretch between games 1 and 2. I cannot see that continuing. But the Yankee bats, the story to me should be about that tonight.
And this is interesting, Boone, on the personality of the 2025 team compared to Yankees of 2024.
Man, I thought last year's group came together well. You always go into spring training. Look, it's not everything, right? You can have years where there's some angst and everyone's not clicking or simpatico with each other, and that's okay too. I mean, you prefer the other way where guys are super close. I feel like this group has built a real bond with one another. I think I felt that way about last year's club too. These guys trust each other a lot. They lean on each other a lot. They communicate really well with one another, like especially in-game stuff that they share with one another, are constantly talking through no matter what's going on. They do a really good job of that. And you know what? Going into every season in spring training, it's always kind of my sappy dream that you want to be on a team where you want it for the guy next to you more than you want it for yourself. And I feel like this team has achieved that with what they've done together and how they've grown together as a team throughout the year. So hopefully that serves us well, in a game tonight.
Yeah, because I'm sure they are thinking how bad Judge must feel that he's an all-time great without a championship, how great Stanton is, no ring, right? So there's certain guys in there they probably feel like, hey.
You think players are thinking that right now?
You know what? I don't think
players think about how many rings Stanton has.
I don't think.
They're worried about themselves. I got to do my job or I'm not going to be here.
Yes,
Volpe thinks that they want me out of here. They want me out of here, right? Grisham, I want to get paid. Bellinger, I want to get paid, right? I gotta keep making sure that I'm bringing it so that when I get to December, I got teams that are going to be throwing big money at me. I want to get paid. Look at the lineup. Rice, I want to prove that I belong here, that they don't take me out of the lineup.
But I'm sure they know that Giancarlo Stanton is getting to the end and doesn't have a ring. Remember, Stan called that meeting in August when they were struggling. So I'm sure he probably said to the guys, hey, listen, I'm on my way out here. I can't run. I can't play the field anymore. I got 2 years left on my contract. I want to win. Are they thinking, let's get a ring for Judge, who's got 7 years left on his contract? Probably not.
Like a movie script. That didn't happen.
No, but listen, you're thinking about yourself, but I think that they care about each other. They want each other to do well.
That always exists with a team, especially a team that's together. Hit one out or that foul ball?
Well, no, because what they're doing is they've now tapped out FS1 and they're showing game 2. And I thought the game was underway, and then I realized, wait a minute, they're in Seattle. I see it in
reflection, and I thought...
Well, first I got thrown out because I'm like, well, now all of a sudden the sun's out?
Oh, God.
No, see, so it's not...
They're showing a replay.
So the latest update this is from Aaron Levine. I want to appreciate Kofi that is sending all the information, and this is from the sports director at the Fox affiliate in Seattle, saying the entirety of the Mariners-Tigers game will be on FS2, MLB Network, and the Fox One app. So it looks like they're out of the business of this game. And they're just going to start it on FS2.
So this is now the pre-game show for an 8 o'clock
as far as
game.
As far as we care at this point is that the Yankees are still going to be 8:08 first pitch on FS1.
FS1, okay.
So what happens? They may not even play. I don't even know. The game's been delayed for an hour and a half already to start. They're going to want to get this in, but at the same time, I mean, if you can't play, you can't play.
Yeah.
And when Poppy was playing Weatherman up there, it looked like it was going to be raining for a while. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Javier in Queens. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Javi?
What's going on, guys?
Everything.
Thanks for taking the call.
No problem.
Listen, great show today. I want to talk a little Yanks and have a question for Alan about the Knicks. I'm going to the stadium tonight, and I disagree with you, Don. I think I do want to see Weaver pitch tonight because I want the Yankees to take a humongous lead in this game and let Weaver come in and sweep up. You know, that's why I want to see. Like, I think if they're going to win 3 in a row, they have to. It's going to be hard to go 3 in a row and use their bullpen arms like heavy. So I think a blowout would be great tonight, and I'll take it. I'm going to the stadium. That's what I'm hoping for. And then my question to Alan is, with the Giannis talk, which is kind of just talk right now, but Alan, I've been talking to you for a long time. I've been talking about Giannis coming to New York for like the last 2 to 3 years. What would it actually take to get Giannis to the Knicks? Like, I think it's a big combo of the players. They don't have a lot of draft capital. So, like, what would it actually take for the Knicks to potentially get Giannis?
Well,
good question.
It is first and foremost, we have been talking about this. I think the last time I talked about it on the air here was June.
Yeah, it was pretty much right when the season ended.
When I said that this is not, it's still on the table, the Giannis stuff, and that it's not going away. And then you see Shams' report today that said that the teams actually talked in August. It was brief. The Knicks didn't – well, the Bucks told the Knicks, we don't want to trade him, but they're entertaining this for Giannis. And so the Knicks, what are you going to do? You're going to show all your cards? No. So, all right, well, no, you tell us what you'd want, and we'll let you know if it's good enough. And so the Bucks were like, well, the Knicks weren't serious, and the Knicks were like, well, the Bucks aren't serious. So nothing came of it as it would if when you know a team doesn't want to trade the guy and doesn't have to. What would it take? First of all, it would take Giannis having leverage, because what the Bucks want would involve multiple teams, because you'd have to get a lot of other things involved. You'd have to give them some salary relief. It would be a very complicated deal, like all deals are with players of his caliber in his prime. To name names right now would not make sense, because I can't name names of players from Team 3. Like, at least you need a third team. At least a third team. What I would watch this season is a team that has a high-priced player that also might start becoming on the move. And then you start having the parameters of something that could go down. Look at the KD deal. Like, there's several deals that happened that involved 3 and 4 teams and picks coming from all different directions. This type of deal would be that. But as the story said, which backs up what I said, it's the only place he wants to go, which is the Knicks. He made that clear. The report now makes it clear. And so any other talk of him going to Miami or going to San Antonio, out the window. This is the only place he wants to be. And we've known this.
But does he want to be here if the Knicks have to gut their roster together?
Of course not. Which is why, again, you don't entertain this type of see, I mean, we can do it a little bit later on if you want, but it's like there's so much more to this than just sit down at a table and write down names on a piece of paper and see if the Bucks want these players. Because a lot of people in Milwaukee, their response has always been, the Bucks don't want any of those players. And you might be right, but it doesn't mean there's some players that would work along with, again, bringing in a third team and maybe even a fourth team to then create a bigger deal, more massive deal that helps facilitate it without turning the Knicks into what happened, when Carmelo Anthony was traded, when other things happened, where you no longer are a championship contender. The key quote that Giannis had on Media Day was that all he wants to do is compete for a championship, not be out in the first round. He wants to every year know that we can play for a championship. So he wants to go to a team that has that ability.
1-800-919-3776. We told you about Hal's comments, or not Hal's comments, Buster's comments on Hal.
Yeah.
Not surprising to us, but we're going to bring it to you anyway. And, of course, ENN at 6. Take up until 7 o'clock. Then it's Dan Grassa leading you right in to the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Rangers and Penguins.
Yeah, it's hockey night tonight.
Yes,
hello out there.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummy she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today.
Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY.
Ballybet, Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it. Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah!
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors.
Mommy, can you open this,
All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you.
They learn what is okay from the adults they see.
Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
So not really that big of a surprise. Buster Olney tweeted this out, and Alan had a conversation with him earlier today. Where did you run into him that you were talking to him? You just call him up?
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of relationship with him.
He's one of my favorite people.
No, he's a great guy. I don't have that relationship. I'm envious.
Well, he's also really good at getting back to you right away. He's one of those guys that you just can rely on. So I enjoy talking with him. He's super smart, and
he is.
He knows a lot about one of my favorite teams.
He knows a lot about everything.
No, that's true.
Which is pretty cool. So I'm trying
Want me to read it? I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
So read what he said.
So he tweeted this. He tweeted, in George Steinbrenner's time as owner of the Yankees, he fostered the Steinbrenner doctrine. If you don't win the World Series, your season is a complete failure. Generations of Yankees fans believe that. One who apparently does not subscribe to the Steinbrenner doctrine, Hal Steinbrenner, current owner of the team. He has a more nuanced view of success. And that, of course, that the tweet itself, it's like it feels like trolling because the calls like that we were getting and everybody was bringing up George. And it was a conversation that Buster and I were having about this because I said, like, it's basically 80% of the calls. I said to him, that's 80% of the calls we get about the Yankees. And he says that, that's been the issue is that people get caught up in that emotion, but they don't really know the history of George Steinbrenner because what we remember, and this is now what I was saying to Buster, I think a lot of Yankees fans, myself included, we have this sort of memory of George as the lovable curmudgeon, the grandfather that would fly off the handle, and we all just laugh because, he was harmless at that point, right? The team was already established. But what you liked was every now and then, when it was time for somebody to get scolded, he'd do it. And you liked that.
Right.
But it didn't harm anything, because the same guy that was saying what he said, fat pussy toad about Hideki Irabu, was also in tears when the team would win a championship, crying, right?
Yes.
So it was almost like he became a character, not a real person. So we don't remember the guy that was kind of running the team into the ground. You know what he is? If you're a Cowboys fan, you recognize it. It's Jerry Jones.
No, it is.
Jerry Jones is a be-all, end-all. Jerry Jones knows so much about football, I'm going to make decisions with the roster. Steinbrenner was doing the same thing. If he was doing that today, people would call him crazy. But that's what they call Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones had that thing with Jimmy Johnson. And how have things gone since then?
Not good, Bob.
But they make money hand over fist. The building's filled. They're the biggest brand in the sport, right?
Yeah.
Business-wise, he's been a genius. But when he says things, when he does what he does, when he does the Micah Parsons trade, all the things, fans get fed up and get angry at him. That's the real George Steinbrenner experience. Trading young players because he has no patience, signing guys he has no right giving contracts to. Makes no sense. But that's what he was doing until they sent him away to baseball jail, and Stick Michael was able to kind of get things back on track. So by the time he came back, there was nothing for him to destroy.
Right.
And so then the best of him showed with the Clemens stuff and willing to write a check, whatever it took, to get certain people and players. And that's when it all looked good. So our memory, a lot of us are all in the same generation, Yankee fans. And every time we fall back on the George wouldn't have accepted this, you're thinking of the character George Steinbrenner that we all fell in love with in the late 90s because the team was winning like crazy, and he was more of the harmless, curmudgeonly grandfather that was easy to love and not really worry about him getting in the way and ruining things. We don't remember the guy that for the better part of the 80s was driving the franchise into the ground and driving good people away from the organization.
And I think what happened, again, I'm just guessing, but Hal's a little bit older than me, so he remembers that era. And he probably maybe was a little embarrassed by it. Remember, his dad got banned from baseball.
Yeah.
I brought this up many times. Watch the end of Ken Burns' Baseball, which came out in 1994.
Yeah.
At the end of Ken Burns' Baseball, it's the picture of George Steinbrenner. His arms are wrapped around the stadium. They superimpose the stadium. And he's talking about how single-handedly George Steinbrenner ruined the Yankee franchise, ruined the Yankee brand. That was a reality. And then because he was suspended from baseball people got involved, started with Watson and then eventually Cashman, and it got corrected. So they're trying to take the success of that and then attach it to the wild man that George was. But the wild man did a lot more bad than good. And I think Hal just made, hey, I'm not going to be that kind of guy. First of all, just because that's your dad doesn't mean you're exactly like your dad. He probably said, I'm not going to be that way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be
Well, he
heavy-handed.
doesn't have to be. You said something when we were talking about this before the show that I thought was really remarkable because I never thought of it. Because, again, I'll also say that the character of George Steinbrenner from the 70s, the one that took the team, the franchise, out of the doldrums, spent money, right? And got Yankee Stadium into the modern era, too. Remember, they had to put money in the building. And then they started winning championships. Now, he then, of course, got drunk on all the fame and popularity, and he went crazy, firing and hiring managers and all the other stuff. But there was at least a window there of success early on, and he became a well-known, probably the most popular owner in sports in America.
Mm-hmm.
But then the 80s happened, and we don't want to think about that. But so it's almost like the contrast of the young George and then the grandpa George. Those are the Georges that people really cling on to here. You don't think of the guy in the middle. But you said something about how Hal doesn't have to worry about the same things George did when he bought the franchise and took it over. And that also changes your perspective on what is success and what is not.
Because I think what George realized is in order to make money, his team needed to win.
Yeah.
And
there
wasn't the television contracts, that getting people into the building was really important.
People forget in the 70s, if you watch highlights, never mind the 80s, which we already knew, in the 70s, when you watch highlights of the regular season, the place isn't packed.
No.
You're hitting home runs into empty seats.
Right.
Today, you never see
And then he was threatening he was going to move the team to New Jersey because the Bronx was falling apart and all that.
Well,
he needed to win.
Then.
All right? But now, because of the television contracts and the status in which the Yankees have built themselves up to, you can't have sustained losing, But you could survive an 82-80 season. You could survive not going to the World Series. As much as the fans are still ticked off, record attendance, record ratings on Yes.
Yep.
So
Jerry
isn't
Jones
the
sounds,
urgency.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, exactly. There isn't the urgency to win. Now, Hal wants to win, but Hal doesn't have to lose money because he's still making money. Maybe George would be like, sometimes you got to spend a little money to make a little money.
Yeah.
Hal's not in that situation.
But by the way,
Hal looks like a bad guy because he doesn't want to kill everybody for not winning. He wants to win, but he also realizes he's assessing success, as Buster said, differently. Hey, I'm sitting on a ton of cash. I've got one of the most popular brands in all of sports. My building's constantly full. My ratings on the network are great. What am I doing wrong?
Right.
I'd like to win. I've already got the third highest payroll in baseball, and if I go out and spend a few more $1 million, it's not going to guarantee me a championship. So what else do I have to do? We haven't won the championship, but at the end of every year, they probably all high-five each other and say, great year.
Of course.
We all made money, and it's still a place everybody wants to play, with the exception of Juan Soto, but the Yankees maybe ended up being smart about that. We'll end up seeing at the end of the day. But George had to do that to build the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that,
Hal
doesn't have to do it.
He built back.
Because when he bought the team for like $1 million in 1973,
and it was suffering.
It was dying. It was suffering.
And the Mets, at that point, because he bought it in '74.
I thought he bought it after the '73 season. So the Mets had just gone to the World Series.
All right. But same area. From that point, the last 4 years, the Mets really had become a real thing and a real threat, which nobody ever thought they'd ever be. But they were, because they were counterculture to the Yankees. They were everything the Yankees weren't. They were fun. They were younger. They were more the hippie kind of style, which was back then the whole thing in the early 70s. And everybody was buying into this team from Queens. And the Yankees were a bad team, and they had, their star run had run out, and they got tired. They became the tired brand. They weren't classic. And George had to come in and revitalize.
Yeah.
That took a lot. And so, putting people in the building was important.
Right. You had to crack a few skulls back then, and Hal doesn't have to do that.
But
I don't think Hal wants to do that.
I think he got drunk off of it in the late 70s, early 80s, and then that's when it got out of hand. But he became a lot more like Jerry Jones. But now with Hal, it's such a smart. It's so true. His goal, like winning a World Series for George Steinbrenner, meant a huge gate and like a successful year and more attention, and the brand continues to build up. The Yankee brand is not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not going
every year,
it
33 years, they're a winning team.
From what I understand, in the few times that I met him, and Michael said this, that Hank was a little bit more like George than Hal is.
Hot-blooded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Hal ended up taking over the reins and to the franchise. So believe me, they're sitting in boardrooms somewhere, win, lose, or draw. They're still going to look at this as a successful season, both financially and the fact they won, that they went to the playoffs. Now, he wants to win. But he doesn't do it in the way George did, so that comes across as that he doesn't want to win.
Yeah. But I think what Buster's trying to do is he's trying to make sure that people don't over-romanticize the George Steinbrenner character.
Yeah, because that's what it is. They're morphing two personalities into something that didn't actually exist.
Right. Yeah. And
because
again,
they're too young. Maybe they're too young.
I remember it. I remember George, the young owner, when I was a kid, and I thought this guy was just like, he was bigger than life. He was aggressive.
Hey.
He must be so rich. So I was just really impressed with whatever persona he created out there publicly. And he had a big mouth and he had a lot to say, and I was like, wow, this guy must be important. The one in the 90s felt more like the grandpa, where you're like, look at him. Like, it's hilarious. And we all grew up in New York. Come on. We've all had that one grandpa that has no filter, that says whatever he wants. And every now and then when somebody needed to be held accountable, he'd say it and it would shake the room. And I think that was George.
But remember,
older George in the 90s.
Right, but people don't remember that when he was suspended from baseball and they announced it got a standing ovation at the stadium because there were fans
They
were
couldn't
done
wait
with
to get rid of him, right?
ENN coming up next. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. It's a must-win for the Yanks in the Bronx. Game 3 of the division series against the Blue Jays. First pitch still a couple of hours away. Using the inbound, George. Upper deck will run you about 10 to 15 minutes. Lower level still in pretty good shape. Extra company on the Deegan in both directions. Heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Southbound side, some pockets of slowdowns from the Moshlu. Northbound, bumper to bumper from the McCombs Dam Bridge. Metro North providing a couple of extra trains on the Harlem, Hudson, and New Haven lines if you want to stick with mass transit. Outbound Lincoln will run you about 5 to 10. Outbound Hahn 15 to 20. MSG season opener, Rangers taking on the Penguins. If you're going to drive into Midtown, definitely want to stick with the west side over the east side of town. Still packed on the belts eastbound, heading over to Pennsylvania Avenue in Brooklyn. Crash off to the shoulder, solid ride from Flatbush Avenue. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
A dime dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Peter Rosenberg!
6:03 in the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg take up until 7 o'clock. And Dan Grasso will be the bridge to the pregame for Rangers and Penguins with Peter literally on the other side of the globe with WWE. It is my pleasure to introduce Anthony Pusick with an ENN.
Oh, hi, everybody. How we doing?
Hello!
What's happening?
Oh, it's all happening, man. You got Yankees face elimination. We got an NHL game going on here. We
isn't it
got
great?
rain in Detroit.
Yay! Well, not that part, but isn't it great to have hockey back on the TV?
Goals galore up there.
Well, the problem is, and I had Florida minus goal and a half. The worst thing that Chicago did was score.
Yeah, because they
woke
poked
up.
the bear.
Because as we saw early last year, we saw that Florida had no interest in the regular season at all.
No.
And they were completely interested in just getting to the playoffs and then doing what they needed to do.
That's how evil empires do it.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to have in sports. Teams like that look at the regular season and go, we don't need this. This is a warm-up. We'll see you in April.
And you will see them, but it's got to end at some point.
We'll do just enough to get there, and then we'll kick all your asses again.
So that's fun. And we have the New York Rangers, of course, on our air after Dan Grasso, who's also doing pregame. So 7:30. Yes, that's right, Don. So 7:30, we will have Rangers pregame with Dan, with John Giannone on the call.
I love John.
He's great.
John's
legitimately,
He's a good man.
He's a tremendous human being.
Fordham guy.
Yes.
You're everywhere.
They're
all right?
Yes.
You guys are everywhere.
Yes. Anyway, let's say good evening now.
Don, you got to take out the sword and be ready.
Whoa.
Whoa makes it.
When did I say that?
We were talking about the stupid home run things.
No, it wasn't today. It was a clean day. But I thought it was fun. So
Well,
I
he
brought
said
it
take
back.
out the take out the sword today.
No.
Well, I got that drop from a long time ago.
Oh, so this is your go-to.
He likes that.
You're
He likes to.
You're a big sword
When did I
puller.
say sword?
I'm not gonna do it.
I said saber when it comes to the Pirates. We were talking about the
That's
trident.
That's the Buffalo hockey team.
Oh, yeah.
Don.
Let me be your angel.
I don't know what it is. I'm addicted to bad music.
He loves that song. I made a huge error, though, by looking at a photo on your
Yeah, I saw that on social media.
your computer.
Yeah.
Because one photo is very, very bright.
Mm-hmm.
And so no.
We're right in a wheelhouse of like corn pone.
And this one was from yesterday.
If your name's Wee Wee
If
Yo
Judge
Yo.
was-
Wee Wee Yo Yo.
Did you see the guy that
like
created
Wee Wee.
his fantasy team?
Yes.
Wee Wee Yo Yo?
Yes.
Wee Wee Yo Yo.
Well done.
Oh, there's a Pee Wee. Why wouldn't there be a Wee Wee?
I do wonder. I do wonder.
Is Wee Wee Reese his little brother?
People that don't watch or listen, and if you don't, why not? Wonder, because I've seen people put in the K show. There's been names that they've used for
Right.
fantasy teams, and if you're not in on it,
Right.
like, what's wrong with this guy?
If you don't get it.
Week 6, Wee Wee Yo Yo now. I'm like, I'm playing Wee Wee
Like
Yo
there's
Yo.
probably a Yo Yo Bumchuck
Yes.
team.
I've seen Yo Yo Bumchuck.
That's if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And we all do. Guys, Adam Schefter on Unsportsmanlike this morning said that there would be 10 to 12 trades in the NFL before the deadline.
Wow.
And I believe 3 already happened today.
Yeah.
So he's well on his way to getting what he needs. I believe it was 2. The big one, of course, is that the Bengals do have another quarterback, and he comes from the same division. The Cleveland Browns have traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. Cincinnati will receive a 6th-round pick. Cleveland also lands a 5th-round pick in the trade. So Joe Flacco now, it looks like, with Jake Browning struggling here a little bit, will be manning the Cincinnati Bengals going forward. With Shedeur Sanders now back up to Dylan Gabriel in Cleveland.
No, let me just ask this.
What other options do they have?
Right now they have
They're starting
nothing.
to run out of. They had 106. Now they're down to just what? Like
They've knocked
3.
it down to 2 quarterbacks.
If you could get a 6th-round pick for Joe Flacco,
Right.
who 5 minutes ago was on a couch,
Yep.
what would the Giants get for Russell Wilson?
6th-round pick.
Well, it's interesting
Yeah.
you say that. Apparently, the Bengals did not make a call to the Giants.
They were all set.
They were good. Because, look, at some point, you think that I believe Burrow's going to come back.
I guess, but come back to what?
But come back to, I don't know.
Well,
Joe
they're 2-2
Flacco leading
now,
his
right?
team.
Or were they 2-3? Because
They
they were
gotta be.
2-1 going into the Denver game when we did the couch cast.
thought
They
they were-
lost that game.
The Cincinnati Bengals are 2-3.
Yeah.
Second in the division.
They're second.
because the
Well, that
rest of the
division is-
Breathing down the Steelers' neck there in the AFC North.
But have you seen? They've seen Joe Flacco play this year, right? Do they think that that's better than Jake Browning?
Clearly.
I guess.
Because Jake Browning had a chance to help me cover and then took a safety.
How's that going to go? Like, hey, Joe, meet Jamar. You're going to throw to him a lot.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
That's not a problem.
No, I think he understands the assignment.
He knows the assignment.
I think he understands the assignment.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
tell you what,
Flacco,
though,
do
it
you
says a
ever
lot.
age?
It says a lot that that's a good drop.
Aditi.
It says a lot though that they don't even call the Giants.
No, they didn't call.
Which means what you see on tape about Russ tells you
Everybody else is seeing it also.
Yeah. Doesn't really want to play anymore.
They'd rather roll with Joe Flacco.
He's trying to stay healthy.
Now Joe Flacco just needs to find a way onto the Steelers. He'll be on every AFC North team in some capacity in his career. I don't know. That won't happen this year, at least unless something catastrophic happens to Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that'll happen.
I used to joke, and I haven't done it because Marco's a righty. I used to always joke when I have a son, if I have a son,
break his arm.
I am going to just tie his right arm to his body and only allow him to use his left arm. Because left-handed pitching, you'll have a job for life. I remember Tony Fossis, who was like 3 bills, like still throwing at like 48 years old. I think quarterback now is the way to go, right? If you're a decent quarterback, you'll find a job somewhere in the NFL until you decide you don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, you just have to. Yeah, you have to be. I think awareness is your greatest skill.
Yeah.
Because even when you're older, if you just have pocket awareness, you could survive. But if you don't, as it gets to a point where you've taken enough hits, you don't want to take any more hits, and you become Russell Wilson.
Knowing what you get out of Joe Flacco is better than thinking you'll get the Russell Wilson from week 2 threw 450 yards.
The guy's playing in work boots, and yet you don't need him to run. You don't even do anything. He'll check down, he'll throw it away, or he'll hit the target. That's it. And he's 6'5". He can see over everybody. He's not small. Just don't ask him to run. He's not going to do it.
But it just shows you, like, how being really smart is, I think, more important than skill at the quarterback position. Like, everybody wants to have Mahomes, his brain and his body. That's the perfect storm, right?
That would
but
help.
if you know how to read defenses, if you know the playbook, if you're smart, you can be an NFL quarterback. You might not win, you might not be a starter, but you could have be Joe Flacco, who's 100 years old, but he's smart enough to be able to keep himself healthy, move the ball downfield, because it is not even close to the hardest position in sports to play. You got to know what everybody's doing. You got to know a playbook the size of a phone book, and that could be enough.
Yeah, but it is awareness and arm accuracy are probably 1 and 2 on the most important things.
But his arm accuracy, yes, it's a physical skill set, but it is also like mental. I know where the receiver's going to be before he makes his cut, so I can put it there.
Still have the ability to throw it, though.
Right, but we all look at when we
Justin
played,
Fields. He can't throw.
No, but here's the thing: is like we all look at being a quarterback. Like when we were playing in the backyard with a Nerf ball, I see Anthony open, I throw to where Anthony is.
Right.
In the NFL, I throw to where Anthony is supposed to be.
Correct.
So when I throw the ball, I'm throwing it to air. Like there's nobody there.
But you know he's going to run
But I know exactly when he's going to be there. You know how hard that is to do? And that's why we get credit. Oh, he stinks. He threw an interception. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's because the receiver was supposed to be there and wasn't.
Yeah.
Because he slipped or he's dumb or something happened. And we go, oh, see, this is why this quarterback sucks. He's throwing an interception. He doesn't know what he's doing. Who is he throwing to?
Or you missed by like a half a foot.
Right.
Like 6 inches to the left, it's an interception. 6 to the right, it's a touchdown. Like the two that Dart threw, like you're talking about, if he misses that left or right, it's either an incomplete or it's picked, but it's just in the right spot. That is everything.
Did you see?
It's crazy.
The Lawrence pass at the sidelines.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God! In a bucket.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
By the way, wasn't I one of the people in the summer when I was doing this? I don't know, every day, where I said that I think that Trevor Lawrence is getting unnecessary criticism. I think he's a little better than everybody gives him credit for.
And then they get.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be okay.
They get a coach who knows offense.
Yeah,
how'd that work out?
He doesn't know how to speak, but he does know
offense.
offense.
Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Is he going to be? Is he going to be Dan Campbell, the coach we made fun of at the press conference?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now he's going to be good again.
He might,
right?
Because guess what? Baker had a revitalization under him in Tampa.
But we saw the press conference. Like, oh, Jaguars. Look what they did here, guys.
He did the Duval.
And
Duval.
We had that somewhere.
And that's going to be his biting knees. Right?
Yeah,
the kneecaps. Yeah.
Because guess what? No one's laughing at 4-1 in a division that I know that the Colts are 4-1 now too, but a division that everybody laughed at is anybody can win this division.
Duval.
There we go. Thank you, Liam.
It sounds like the Minions.
It's just guess what? He can do whatever. Again, as you guys point out, he can do whatever he wants. I have big news, amazing news. We have a start time. The Tigers game will start at 7.
Yay!
Tigers Mariners.
I was worried there for a second.
Will begin at 7.
FS3.
FS2, MLB Network, and the Fox One app.
What do they call it
Have
when
fun.
you're not interested enough to watch it, but you do want to know what the score is? Because because there's certain, like, I got to watch. Like, I obviously got to watch Yankees-Blue Jays. I want to watch Yankees-Blue. I want to watch Dodgers-Phillies.
Yep.
I don't need to watch Brewers-Cubs. and I don't need to watch Mariners and Tigers.
You know what that is?
So before I go to bed, Alexa, what's the Mariners score?
Right. That's sports phone. I just want a sports phone.
Well, I don't have a bet on it. But what do you call it when you're not? It's not interesting enough to watch, but you want to know the score.
But that's it. It's sports phone. It's like, I don't want to watch it, but I just want to keep up on it. So let me just check in. So, yeah, you just check on your phone. What's the score? Okay, that's interesting.
Florida-Chicago might end, but yeah, no, it definitely will. Before the Tigers-Mariners. We will have an end to that NHL game before that.
It's good.
Tigers-Mariners game. This is interesting, and we have no sound on it, unfortunately, because it's from the Prime documentary on Saquon. But I think it's worth mentioning here, and it might take a long time. So bear with me here, everybody.
Stand by.
So there's a new documentary out about Saquon Barkley, and it revealed that the running back requested a trade from the Giants during a phone call with owner John Mara in the summer of 2023. The Prime Video documentary, Saquon, is produced by Martin Scorsese. And will be released Thursday.
This is going to be great. All of a sudden, they're going to be talking to Saquon, and somebody gets shot in the head. Wait a minute, I don't remember that. Is that? I thought they just fired Gettleman. They shot him in the head.
It's based on the truth. It's going to be mixed with the Ed Gain story on Netflix.
I just was like, De Niro's going to be in it. You're going to trade Saquon Barkley? You're not trading Saquon Barkley.
Well, if Robert De Niro's playing John Mara, you will get that. Because
Joe Pesci, right? Yeah, you're not trading.
Here's how this went down. Saquon said in the phone conversation, I want to run something by you real quick. I've just seen the offer that in an effort to extend him in 2023. I just talked it over with my agent. Once again, I appreciate that, but I brought this up to general manager Joe Shane a couple of times, and he kind of declined me. He said ownership won't allow it, talking about the possibility of trading him. It's obviously clear I don't think we're going to get to a place where we can agree on a deal, so would you allow for me permission to seek a trade? Him asking this to John Mara. Mara said, nah, Saquon, I'm not going to do that. That makes no sense for us, and to be honest with you, it's not going to be in your long-term best interest to do that. There's no way that I would allow them to trade you at this point. No, I'm just going to be honest with you. You're too valuable to this franchise.
This is what I suspected all along. Because when you saw they didn't have an interest in re-signing him, the question was, well, why didn't they trade him then? And I always felt because Mara wouldn't let him do it.
And lo and behold.
Because Mara was going to try to talk him into it and then realized he couldn't do it.
Amazing.
It just, how poorly run a franchise is that?
You see, but that's why he had to give him another year. I did this. Could have gotten an asset for a player who ended up walking.
But follow. See, this is the problem with John.
It also just
follow through. Like, if you're going to be that way, then you stand on the desk and you tell Shane he's not going anywhere. We're going to give him whatever you got to do.
What does he want?
But he's half pregnant with it, so you don't trade him where you can get something for him, and then you let him walk anyway.
It's actually the perfect opportunity to say in that, not for the cameras, just in general, in a conversation, because that's all it is. I know that they probably don't do that, but with Hard Knocks there, it's just supposed to be the conversations you're having with your general manager. Instead of saying, I'm going to lose sleep if Saquon goes to Philadelphia, it's like, I told this guy that I valued him and that I think he's too valuable to this franchise. Now you're telling me you don't want to give him the money?
God love him. I think he's a great human being, and we all prayers
wish him well.
Of course.
He doesn't know what he's doing. They don't know how to run a franchise. They don't. I'm sorry. The evidence is there. Just
Owners
from the short-term firings, and now these are the guys you decide to keep, but you didn't extend them, and now they got to win games when they don't have enough ability to do that with the toughest schedule in the NFL, and you end up firing these guys. You're going to end up ruining Jackson Dart. They don't know what they're doing. The Giants, as great a franchise as they are, one of the flagship franchises, as Bill Parcells once called them, and they are, the New York Giants. I'm proud that I'm a fan of that team from what they accomplished in the past. They don't know what they are doing. I'm sorry, John, you love you, but you got to tap out.
Should never be involved in player transactions. Never.
Ever.
Your job is to approve of a contract, disapprove of a contract. End of story. The person you hired as general manager to run your team, you have to trust them that they are doing the right thing. If the team's success doesn't equate to that, then you say, I got to get a new GM. But while you have him employed, you have to trust him because that's his job.
And he
knows the sport better than you.
And I genuinely believe that John Mara loves Saquon Barkley because he's a good person.
Yep.
And Saquon's a good person.
Yeah.
But how do you, in a straight face, look at him and say, "I staying here is better"? You knew the team stunk. You knew that they didn't have any kind of future with him. It was the right move to let him go. Obviously, going to Philadelphia was not ideal. I get that. So you could have traded him. He would have ended up in Philadelphia maybe anyway. But
after it's out of your hands,
but
it's
you
not...
talked to him, caring about him, and told him it wasn't in his best interest to be traded.
So
it was absolutely in his best interest to be traded.
Another quote that came from this story: "They really don't appreciate me, to be completely honest." This is something Saquon said after he had 35 carries and a win over the Texans, I guess in that 2023 season. He later added, "Every time I talk about this blank, my blood just boils. It's the principle. That's all it is. It's just the principle." Here's the thing that's probably going to get Giants fans very annoyed. I would have signed for $10 million, $11 million if they operated a whole different way. And I think everybody knew at the time that he wasn't trying to rake them over the coals. But even at that price, I don't think that Joe Schoen valued Saquon at that number. Clearly, John Mara valued him as, I need to keep you. I don't know if no matter what was in the conversation, but if you're not willing to trade him, and you already knew that your GM felt this way about the running back position, it puts Saquon in a tough spot because now he's hearing two different things. And he also knows that they're not on the same page.
That's exactly it. If you remember then, and I remember that offseason because it was very notable when Joe Schoen was talking to the media about negotiations with Saquon Barkley, and some of it did get leaked out from Barkley's side. Joe Schoen, you could tell, had no interest in dealing with Barkley, and you could tell did not value the position.
Right.
And so everything he said was always supposed to be like respectful about a player, but it never seemed like it. I want to go find, because I remember there was one back and forth with media where right away it was like Joe Schoen was making it abundantly clear without saying it that he has no interest. He does not value Barkley, the player, to pay him what he expects to be paid. And he was trying to almost let everybody know, don't expect this. Like, we're moving on. This is not how we're going to play. And that's where, to me, that's where John should have seen it. And if you knew then, okay, I have a general manager who's not interested in this guy, I might have to make a decision now about this.
And it made sense because the Giants weren't going anywhere. They didn't have the structure to win with Saquon Barkley. You know why? I know that because for 6 years they didn't.
Right.
They kind of fluked into a playoff spot, won a playoff game, but obviously it was Fugazi, and he was getting himself hurt. It was the best thing for both franchises. The Giants didn't value the position because they had too much they needed to fill in a cap to give any money to a running back at that stage. Philadelphia had all the talent. They just needed the running back. It was good for Saquon. Saquon staying here would have been a disaster for Saquon, and the Giants would have been a little bit better, but not much. This was the best thing for both teams. Giants get to move on. Saquon goes to win a Super Bowl. It sucks for Giant fans to watch him make the Eagles better. But tell me how it's not the best thing for everybody, because if he stayed with the Giants, it would have sucked for Saquon.
Yeah.
And what were the Giants? Maybe win a couple more games here. They would still be in the same spot. Yeah, he's a real talented player, and he'll have his 1,200 yards and score a bunch of touchdowns on big plays, but he also would get hurt, and they also wouldn't be any closer to a championship, and maybe not have some of the defensive personnel they have that might grow into something. But the frustrating thing is when an organization like the Giants don't know what they're doing, it doesn't matter. Whatever they do, they're going to step in crap anyway. Because when you don't know what you're doing, this is the problem that you have.
Well, it certainly feels that way. Guys, remember the UNC documentary? They were going to follow around Bill Belichick for the whole season.
I mean, I was good the second I heard it.
Yeah. Well, Don, it's funny that you said that. Hulu's good, too. That ain't not happening. It's done.
What is there to say?
Hulu, a Disney company.
Well, put it this way. I don't know who's done. The team scrapped plans for the documentary. Told Hulu, hey, we're 2-3 and our wins are Charlotte and Richmond.
You think it's
we're all set.
or do you think it's what they wanted to do versus what they were permitted to do?
Well, the team is backing out of it looks like.
Dealing with things.
I don't think a 28-point loss to a Clemson team that can't get out of its own way is
But
a
why
very
was
good
it
thing.
interesting anyway? You knew
because it's Bill.
He had all the it's Bill. Bill's interesting because he wins.
Yeah.
If he's not winning,
It's not
he doesn't light up a room.
No, he doesn't.
But I still look at her and what's probably happening, and I say, you know what?
She gets in the way.
I
of
think
a lot
he's
of things.
good. I think I did a lot of winning, and now I'm doing a lot of stuff I didn't do when I was winning. So Good for him.
That's a bad.
He made a choice, man. He made a choice. And before everybody starts killing him, put yourself in his shoes. What choice would you make? Because maybe, just maybe, it's that good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying.
We've all made that choice. All right? And when I say we, I mean he.
I have to find this.
And
for
Little
everybody.
Bill's making some choices, right?
Little Bill.
And Little
I
Bill.
remember that show.
Little
was a
Bill's
fun
never been
show.
happier because you know what? Little Bill didn't get the lift of Vince Lombardi trophy. Nobody ever talked to Little Bill, right? When they did the 30 for 30, it wasn't Bill, and Little Bill. It was Bill and Bill.
It was just Bill.
So he
And
never
Tom.
got to go out. He never got to do anything. Now he goes to North Carolina.
Probably
They
a
do
good
nothing
thing.
but lose him. But now Bill's the man.
Him not
and
going
Bill's
out
real happy.
It's probably a good
Never
thing.
been happier. Did anybody think that way? I do.
I don't know how I haven't played this for you all, but in the time that I knew it existed, have you guys heard the Dave Rothenberg Jackson Dart song?
Wait a minute.
You've heard it because you listen in the morning.
Let's hear.
Dart, 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 dart. Jackson, dart, 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 dart. Jackson, dart, 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 dart. Jackson, dart, 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 dart.
Playing in DJs.
Jackson,
12 o'clock at night.
There's more.
Jackson, dart.
So
There you go.
the backstory, he was doing this one morning, just randomly, just started like singing this song, and I texted Santiago right away. I'm like, you got to put that to music, like an EDM.
So
track.
this is you.
Oh, I'll show you the text because like you remember we used to do this all the time back.
Well, that was the Santi and Hahn and Humpty special.
Yeah. So I just you got to put this to an EDM track right away. You
Jackson
could hear.
Dart, he's my quarterback. Jackson Dart, he's my quarterback.
That's at the We Are New York and We Love Basketball speech.
Yeah, that actually does sound like that one.
Dart, dart,
But
dart,
this one,
dart,
when he
dart,
starts
dart.
doing that,
Jackson
I'm like,
dart, dart,
oh,
dart,
yeah.
dart, dart, dart,
now
dart. Jackson Dart.
You know what this reminds me? You know what this reminds me of? Was when I was younger, and I was tripping on meth.
With Hubert.
And I went to the.
Wait a minute.
I went to the roller rink with the disco lights
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, sure.
And I played Qbert.
Oh my God.
And instead of it going boing, 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 it was going don, don.
We have everything here. We really
So
do.
that's what I was.
I don't think there's a better way to end it than that.
And I said, you know what? I don't think drugs are for me.
No. That's a good one. Way to end it. Way to end it. Nicely done.
That was terrific.
Thank you.
It's a good vehicle.
It was the best DNN of
ever.
Really.
Of this week.
No, ever. And I'm looking forward to more of them as Peter trots the globe.
He is?
With the WWE.
Where do we think he is right now? Is he in Perth yet?
When did he leave? I know he was
I don't know.
I don't know when he left.
He left last night. That doesn't mean he's there yet, Jacob. He left at 11 last night.
Oh, no, he's still in the air. Is he? You think he's listening? He was texting us. Was he in the plane when he was texting us, or he didn't leave yet? No, because that was before 11.
No, I think he.
Oh, dear God. Being on a plane for that long?
Does Florida need another injury? I don't even know who it is.
I mean, I'm flying.
Oh, Rodriguez. That's not good.
I'm flying to Tampa on Friday, and it's got as a 3-hour flight. I'm like, I hope that's taxi to taxi. I really don't want to be in the air that long.
You're not gonna be in the air that long.
No, and I'm looking forward to that. But being in the air for like 24 straight hours, I don't want to do anything for 24.
How many movies can you watch? It'd be great if you could take a bath. That would be nice.
Well, think about it. That would be The Godfather.
The trilogy?
7.5 times.
That's a lot of times,
right?
So you know what it could be? It could be the entire Star Wars saga for me.
1 through 9.
I might even throw Rogue One in there.
Can you throw Solo in there? You might even be able to put Solo in.
Could get Solo in there, too.
You can get the animated series in as well.
No, I don't know if I get that far.
Oh.
He's good.
God help him.
He's good.
I'm good. And you're good till 7 when we hand it off to Dan Grassa. Line up the calls, 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
And we're good when it comes to... Okay. I just wanted to make sure we heard Bath Fitter. Yes, we're good when we have Bath Fitter because my friends at Bath Fitter remodeled a bath in my home. I've told you about this. They did a great job. We updated a bath, and we converted a tub into a shower. And I got to tell you, tub to shower, what a difference it makes. So it was so great. My sister came over, saw it, and she's like, I got to do this. Because you know how siblings are. It's like they got to one-up you. So she has a renovation going with Bath Fitter as well. A bath fitter consultant will take you through the process with their free in-home consultation. Pick style, color, all the specifics and accessories to update the bath customized just the way you want it. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit, which is done in 1 day. Yes, that's it. 1 day, easy cleanup. And this whole thing is also durable, no demo, no mess, no nothing. The best part, it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, this is the best part too, you get a lifetime guarantee. Lifetime guarantee. And right now, how about this? No money down, no payments or interest until 2027. You can trust the Bath Fitter team just like we did. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters, but those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. 1 day, 1 meal, and 1 New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
A lot of interesting things happening in sports, but really nothing bigger than the Yankees trying to stave off elimination and just live to fight another day. That's all this is. The task is tall to win 3 straight games. 2 of them are home. You've got the pitching matchup. Theoretically, you've got the pitching matchup in all 3 potential games here, right? You've got it tonight. You'll have it tomorrow with the way Schlittler pitched against Boston,
you're hoping,
and they're going to have an opener.
You're hoping he can.
And listen, you don't like the way Max Fried pitched on Sunday, but you would think Max Fried is a better pitcher than Gausman, who you would have saw for, the 5th time this year.
It'd be 6.
So you can make the case all 3 games individually. The difficult thing is to just have them all happen in succession. But the Yankees did it in 2017, and I thought Michael made a good point today. It's like, oh, well, they did it against the Indians. That Indians team went to the World Series the year before. And if not for a rain delay, probably beat the Cubs in the World Series. So that was a good Indians team. And the Yankees came back. Their first playoff appearance, remember, that was the new look Yankees with Judge and Sanchez.
Yep.
And they were able to come back and win.
Yeah,
so
it's a different, again, I don't like comparing eras.
Listen, Judge is the only holdover from that series.
Right.
Think
so
about that.
There's no it's the same team, so we know what they're about. We don't know what this iteration of the Yankees are all about. We saw them throughout this year. They've looked great, and there are times they look terrible. And for 2 games in Toronto, they look terrible. You need Carlos Rodon, who we have seen. He had an 18-win season. He pitched really well, and yet there are also times that the level of trust with Rodon right now, where is it? It's not very high, but you need him. Yeah. And he's got good enough stuff to get it done. So we'll see. And Guerrero, we gave you the numbers. Guerrero against him, he's 10 of 17. He hits Rodon. So you got to watch that aspect tonight. How do they pitch to him? How do they handle it? How long do they let him go? You can't get to Weaver. Your middle relief right now is out of the question if your starter can't get you to Devin Williams. And those are all the things that you got to watch tonight. Judge, I want to see how the crowd, handles him and all that stuff. But Don, there is something else going on tonight in New York City.
Yes.
There is the start of the hockey season.
Yes.
And we have spent way too much of the show avoiding this conversation. The New York Rangers dropped the puck tonight at the Garden.
That's right.
What are we expecting out of this season? You are the voice of the Devils, but you know the Rangers well. You've been around them for 20 years. I do know them well. So no one better than you, and of course Anthony, because it's his favorite team. But, for Ranger fans who are headed to the building tonight or going to the game, who are excited about the start of a new season, what are the Rangers going to be this year? Is this a reset year? It's not rebuild, I guess, because there's still some main pieces there. There are a lot of main pieces missing now. They made a lot of changes last year. But what are the New York Rangers this season?
Well, I think they're a playoff team. Now, you look at the Metropolitan Division. You figure Carolina is the defending champions of the division, so you give them one of the top 3. I think this Devils team is going to be good if they can keep Heischer and Hughes healthy and Hamilton
and Markstrom healthy.
And they signed Luke Hughes, and Pesci hurt his foot in that last preseason game, but he's going to Carolina tomorrow, and he's going to be in the lineup on Thursday.
Okay,
so they're in good shape there. And this Gritzlick kid looks like he's pretty good. So if you give him then it becomes, all right, is it Washington to get that 3rd spot? Is it Columbus? A lot of people are high in Columbus. Rangers can grab it. I think Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and the Islanders, I don't think are playoff teams right now. Islanders look eerily similar to last year's team.
Very similar.
And so I don't think you're going anywhere there. So they could be a 3 seed in the division, or they can grab a wild card because they've got Igor Shesterkin, who's a world-class goaltender. JT Miller's now the captain, and you got a full season of him. You still have Panarin, who they may move at the deadline if they're out of it, but if they're not, I think they'll hold on. You've got Adam Fox. I think Will Cooley is going to be even better now in year 3. So he's growing into finally putting a good 3rd line together for this team, something they've been searching for. So, hey, listen, it could all go sideways. A couple of guys get hurt, lose a couple of tough games. But right now, I think there's enough there for them to make the playoffs. And you get the right matchup in the first round. Who knows? I think Cup's off the table. But a playoff team, I see that. Mike Sullivan was brought here to do 2 things. Get them on the Cup path again, but also make sure that they're going to make the playoffs. And he missed the last couple of years in Pittsburgh, and I think he wants to get back on the horse with the Rangers.
That leads me to where I was going to go next, is what is the Sullivan impact here? Now, what is Sully Brands? There's the Trident, by the way. You see how pointed those things are?
I know.
It's crazy.
Nobody got hurt.
What is the Sullivan impact here? What like another coaching change now? They've gone through a lot of coaches over the last 5 years. What does he bring that could what's going to look different because they made a coaching change?
Well, listen, I loved Laviolette. I don't think it's going to look that much different because Laviolette's going to play, I would think, at least a similar style. The difference is there was a sense of urgency for Laviolette to get him a cup that Mike Sullivan doesn't sense. So I think he's going to be a little bit more patient with the younger players. Let them make their mistakes when they come up. Where you were under a tremendous amount of pressure to win every game with these kids. Now I think there's going to be room to grow and to experiment with some of the younger guys. You've seen Matt Rempe playing on a second power play. I don't think Laviolette would have done that. Too important, right? But now you can kind of fiddle with some stuff here because there isn't going to be that sense of cup or bust, or I'm going to lose my job if I don't, make a run to the conference final. And he's also dealt with stars. He dealt with Malkin. He dealt with Crosby. He was not hard to deal with, but Malkin can be sometimes. So he'll be able to juggle the Panarin thing. Where is he here? They're not going to extend Panarin, I don't think. So it's a case of whether he stays till the end of the season and make the playoffs, or they trade him at the deadline. But I think you're going to see a little bit more patient, a little bit more experimentation with some of the younger guys, which I think the fans will really enjoy because there's some good young players on this team.
Give me one to watch.
Well, I think Burrow's the one that you saw a little bit last year that I think's got the potential to be a really good player. Seeing a Schneider develop into a star defenseman, I think that's going to be happening very soon. You're starting to see that begin now. Maybe this is the coach that can crack the code on Alexis Lafreniere, who you extended last year, who's still he was drafted in 2020. He's still very young.
He's considered a young player.
Well, I mean, listen, he hasn't lived up to his expectations, right? Yeah. So I think it's going to be a fun season for the Devils and the Rangers. I feel bad for the Islanders because I just didn't see them do enough to make me think it's going to be anything different than it's been the last couple of years. 2 years ago, sneak into the playoffs, get bounced by Carolina, miss the playoffs last year. I'd like to see all three of these teams make it, but I think the Rangers have a much better chance than the Islanders.
Yeah, I agree there, and I just think with the Islanders, the problem is they're locked into so many contracts with some of these guys that they decided to lock up, especially defensively. I mean, the defense is pretty much the same, and it's the same guys, and it's guys that end up getting hurt, and they stay hurt, and that's frustrating for a lot. I think with Darsh, it's a different mood there. And I think he might let Patrick Waugh do a little more when it comes to the way he wants to run the team and play and they do a lot of analytics. Darsh believes in it, the GM, but I just feel like when you have that same core and they've been around for a long time the way they have, you want to see do they get to a point too where there's some pride that says there's still talent here, but we've been a little too country club. So a guy's going to have like that sense of pride and maybe be a surprise team because they are so freaking experienced? Or are they just going to stay sort of under the radar, no expectations? I'm guaranteed money. I don't have to do anything. I'm curious to see if there's some accountability in the room where they look around and they go, aren't we kind of tired of being mediocre?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we like if we strap up together and play it to the level of what some of these guys are that good? But I don't know what to expect. So I'm with you. I don't know what to expect on the island. The Devils, to me, are a team that they got to stay healthy. They've got the goaltending to do it. There's no question, right?
Oh, Markstrom,
tons of firepower up front.
Yeah.
It's just the issues have always been for them health.
Yep, got to stay healthy.
And the Rangers, but the Rangers to me are the wild card. I don't know what to expect from the Rangers. I don't know what
I just
they're
think
going
when
to
you
be
have
this year.
when you have the pieces that they have, I think it gives you a chance to win every night, right? Their goaltending should be able to give them a chance to win every night. They should be able to score. I remember Dave saying to me that the sooner this becomes JT Miller's team, the better.
Yep.
And he was made captain, so it's got a chance.
So will
for
they
that.
have a little more edge to them? Will there be a little more accountability?
Rempe's going to give them an edge, and JT Miller's going to give them an edge for sure. So that's going to help.
Well, defensively,
but the question is, what is Mika Zibanejad at this point? If Mika Zibanejad is going to be a passenger, there may not be enough there.
But they were so bad defensively last year. The breakdowns they would have defensively. Now, and again, they've changed out some bodies. They actually did it during the season last year. But, again, with Sullivan there, does that also change? Do they become a different type of defensive team? I don't know. because I always felt like that was their biggest problem. They would have a pocket of in the middle of a game where they'd give up 3 goals, and the whole thing just turns on.
Yeah, because it just became
third periods that
everybody freelancing to
meltdowns.
try to get there, but between the leg passes and thinking offense instead of I think Sullivan's going to bring back that stability defensively.
All right.
And I think it's good, but it could take some time. Yeah, but you're right. The Devils, Hughes is a star.
Oh, my God.
And just being around him, he seems to get it. He's got to stay healthy. He's got 178-game season. Otherwise, you're looking at a lot of 40.
Well,
he will be their first 50-goal scorer. He will be their first 100-point scorer if he can stay healthy.
I agree.
He sure added 20 pounds of muscle, so he's going to be bigger. And I think that's a physical presence. Timo Meyer, a big kid, looking for him to finally break out. Dodonov was a great pickup for them. He's going to play some top line. Jesper Bratt's turning into a star as well. They've got a lot there.
No,
they do. They have a lot there.
They've had plenty of drafts, so they've been able to start filling it up.
They just can't they can't crack the code on Carolina, and that's who they play on Thursday, and that's who's knocked them out of the playoffs the last couple of years. They just can't figure it out. It's funny in hockey, right? Rangers can beat the Carolina Hurricanes in their sleep during the playoffs, right? Can do it. Devils can't beat Carolina. It's weird. Carolina can't beat Florida. It's all matchups, and that's why
it is styles that make fights.
It's crazy.
The only thing I'm looking for on the island is can Matt Barzal take it to a level that I have not seen
he has
ever.
to.
Yeah,
him and Horvat have to be 40-plus goal scorers if they're going to be in the playoffs, and I don't see that
They got to stay on the ice together. They've got to stay healthy together, and they have to but Barzal has to become a player that can play in a system and not just kind of be the system himself. I'm curious to see what they do with him because he's too good a player. Like when your best player doesn't scare the other team, I don't think he scares the other team when he step on the ice in a 1-goal game. Then I don't know how great of a player he is. Him, and then obviously watching the kid Schaefer, they kept him as a 7th D, an 18-year-old. And can they turn him into something? Because the talk about him and what his potential is going to be down the road, he could be special. Like he could be Norris quality defenseman. And you're going to see the very early stages of that in a kid who's obviously a great kid. So those are the things. If there's something to watch on the island, that's what I'm watching.
1-800-919-3776. Close out with your calls. Then Dan Gross at 7 leads you right into Rangers Penguins here on ESPN New York.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Mel Kiper Jr. If the Giants win 3 games, you would still bring back Brian Daboll?
I would. I'm into continuity, guys. You brought Brian Daboll here to be the head coach, and it hasn't worked. This is their quarterback. Brian Daboll needs to be there because then you're really screwing up your quarterback. I'm not cutting the cord because what you do is you take Jackson Dart back to being a rookie again, and you don't want that. Give them a chance to work together and see if they can develop, and Daboll and Dart together can get this thing going in the right direction.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I feel speechless. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football. This is the Michael Kay Show.
Here's the thing that worries me the most. The Yankee bullpen right now is in shambles. You have 2 pitchers that right now you could trust. Two pitchers. Devin Williams and David Bednar. That's it. Fernando Cruz is not throwing strikes. You either have to straighten out Weaver or you're in trouble because you can't win and get to a World Series with 2 relief pitchers.
The Michael Kay Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet, Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
All right, all about you the rest of the way. 1-800-919-3776. Want to let the Yankee fans know, because we've got the Ranger game on our air beginning at 7:30 tonight on 880. You can listen to the Yankee game on 1050. They've blown out the Seattle-Detroit game. That game's not going to be heard because it's not going to start until after 7 o'clock. So 7:30, the pregame for Yankees-Blue Jays, all the marbles for the Yankees. That'll be coming up at 7:30 on 1050. Here on 880, you get 30 minutes of Dan Grassa leading into his pregame show for the first game of the year. Rangers and the Penguins, Panthers and Blackhawks are playing right now. That game's tied at 2 late in the second period. Hockey is underway. Yes. 1-800-919-3776. Steve in California. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Steve?
Hey, guys. Great to speak with you again. Anything taller than me, that's what you were talking about earlier, how you build a team matters. You guys started talking about the Yankees and how people were so pessimistic today. And as I've been sitting and listening, it applies to every sport and every team that we're talking about. How you build a team matters. The Yankees haven't been steamrolling anybody. They're not playing with a team with confidence. They don't have great pitching. And while they have good defense, they don't have great defense. Toronto is a team that's just better, well put together. They play day in and day out, merciless baseball, like a machine. You know, you may beat them, but you have to beat them. The Yankees beat themselves sometimes, either in how they approach the ball hitting, how they sometimes feel. It's their approach. You know, you guys were talking about how they don't want to play situational hitting.
But Steve, here's I don't disagree with you, but they were tied for the most wins in the American League. So that's what they would say to you is, what's so wrong with our team? We were a tiebreaker away from being the 1 seed in the American League. So same record as the Blue Jays.
Well, but you couldn't win the clutch ball game that you needed to win. You know, it reminds me of Danny Cater, the most useless 300 hitter I've ever seen.
but I see this is the standard that Yankee fans throw out there, but then they ignore the fact that, you know, you almost won the division. You went to the World Series last year. So yeah, there's flaws in this team, but not clutch. Didn't they not win games 2 and 3 against the Red Sox to advance? I know you want it to be better, and they sell that it should be better, but let's not talk about this team like they're the Mets who missed the playoffs, or they're like the Angels that never go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, no one hates the Yankees more than Yankee fans sometimes. It really, like, I'm the first one to talk about how I don't like the approach and I don't like the style of play and I don't agree with all
there are things that are going to have to change if they lose tonight, for sure.
But we said that last year and we said it the year before. We said the year that they went 82-80 and didn't make the right. We said that, and yet doesn't change. So the approach is not changing until Brian Cashman decides he doesn't want to be a general manager anymore. Like, that you understand. I'm frustrated too, but I'm not going to go to the extremes of how, the Blue Jays and the Yankees are just two different teams. The way the Blue Jays play is just – I like the way they play, yes. But to say that it's just so much better, and then both teams have 94 wins, they scored 23 runs in the first two games. That feels like an aberration. I told you already, over the course of the two games, 7 straight innings in that pocket of innings from the end of game 1 to the start of game 2.
Changed everything.
They had 18 runs in that pocket. That was an insane run for them. That can't possibly happen again tonight.
You wouldn't think so.
Oh, my God.
But you could also lose the game 1-0 if you're not going to hit. They're going to have to try to hit. But if you're and I'm not discouraging you from calling, and the calls that we don't get to today, Dan Gross is coming up next, so he'll take your calls till 7:30, and then we'll have the Ranger pregame. If that guy Steve that called from California, pitch it to Brian Cashman. If you had a chance to sell Brian Cashman on how things need to change, you're going to have to come with a better argument than that. Because his retort's going to be, we won 94 games. We went to the World Series last year. Yeah. We're still mathematically alive to be able to win this series. And if we don't, hey, we'll reassess. But, when you're trying to sell a bad baseball team how to be better, they need to be convinced they're doing it the wrong way. You think they're doing it the wrong way because they haven't won a World Series since 2009. They're going to show you, name another baseball team that has won at the clip that we've won, consistently going to the playoffs every year, have not finished under 500 in over 30 years. Name me another team in New York that's had the success that we've had.
No other.
So I'm not disagreeing with Steve. I'm just saying you got to come at it at a different angle, man.
It's got to be,
because you wouldn't sell Brian Cashman on that argument.
No, it's strictly about appeal. That's all it's about.
Yeah,
it's appeal. The Blue Jays play a style of play that is more fun, or at least for me, more enjoyable to watch. That's it. That's all you can say.
It's that fatalistic feeling like it's already over, and yet we could be here tomorrow having the same conversation because they won. Game will be on 10:50 for the Yankee fans. Ranger fans, hang in there. Dan Gross is going to take you up until the pregame there. Talk to you again tomorrow at 3 on ESPN New York.
Is college even worth it these days? At Empire State University,